Well, hello and happy Tuesday, everybody. Heidi Glaus here with Bob Ramsey, Josh Gilbert, and we've got a shorter show than usual because Mizzou basketball tips off against Oklahoma at 6. So the pregame starts here at 5:30, but we are going to cram in as much as we can, starting with a best-selling author, one of the best when it comes to thrillers, and he's got a new one, Trust No One. I'm talking about James Rollins, and he's appearing tonight at the Clark Family Branch. He's going to sign his new book. He's going to be in discussion, but first, he's in discussion with us right here, coming up at 3:30, so you don't want to miss that. Then in the 4 o'clock, Erik Siemers will join us to discuss a new project that is planned in the Metro East that maybe you haven't heard about, and this is a big one. We're talking about $2 billion, so Erik will kind of give us the lay of the land and tell us what is planned, and then they also have an interesting new kind of, I don't know if it's a tax incentive, but it hasn't been used that often, so he'll tell us more about that. Block, which is one of the companies that St. Louis native started. Jack Dorsey started Twitter, and then he did Block. And so Block has housed quite a few employees here in St. Louis. They were in the old Post-Dispatch building, and now
I don't know what that is.
It's when you see maybe if you are at a smaller store and they have that little device, maybe where you get your hair cut.
Yeah.
And you use your credit card, you can boop it. Is it boop or beep? I never remember.
It's boop.
Okay.
It's definitely boop.
So that's what that is. So we'll find out more about those layoffs with Erik Siemers coming up at about 4:20. Since we're off due to the Valley tournament, we're going to have Rammers Billiken report a little later in the 4 o'clock. And in the 5, we got some entertainment news, and then we're done. We're out of here. But like I said, we'll cram in as much as we can.
Even those who work here on our show in particular,
yes,
who may not be basketball fans, have to love basketball this time of year.
I think so.
Some extra time off.
I think so. I'll tell you, if you are into basketball, the crazy Unrivaled tournament, that's the 3-on-3 women's league, and it is wrapping up. It'll wrap up tomorrow night, actually. Last night, there were 2 thrillers.
Really?
And if you haven't watched it, it's a little bit different. In the fourth quarter, they set a score to get to instead of a time. So it's a little bit different. The short is a little smaller, but the play is even more aggressive. So if you're into basketball and haven't checked out Unrivaled yet, I highly recommend that as well. When you're going somewhere typically, are you the driver? Is your wife the driver? Or is it one of the kids?
Depends on the car. If it's Jen's car, she drives. If it's my car, I drive.
Okay.
But I typically want to drive my car. And so if you want to go along, there's the door, get in. If not, I'll see you later.
Meet me there.
No, I'm teasing, of course. But typically, I like to drive my car.
Yeah.
We are literally 50-50.
Really?
Sometimes I drive, sometimes she. If there's a Mizzou game on, I ask her to drive. So
you can really pay attention?
Watch it on my phone or
I
whatever.
thought you were going to listen to it here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, sometimes she doesn't let me because she wants to listen to her top 40 stuff. Happy wife.
I got you.
Happy life, guys. But there is really no process. Sometimes I'll just walk around and get in. Other times, she'll already be there.
Same car, different cars.
We normally take her car everywhere on the weekends.
Okay.
Just because it's 5 years newer.
Yeah.
And, well, her car's a lot cleaner than mine, which you guys probably could have already guessed.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I like I say, it's not a thing except that I like driving my car.
I would say it's 80% I'm driving because I like control. I'm just going to be honest. I can say that. And you know what? It's interesting. My sister drives probably 75-80% of the time, even with her husband. Like, it's just...
So your parents raised A-type girls.
I guess that is what I'm trying to say. But here's what I want to talk about is those backseat drivers. And what are some of the most annoying kind of things about a backseat driver.
I don't ride in the back very often. Mm-hmm. Rarely. I'm not good.
I'm not either.
Why are you going that way? Mm-hmm. Why are you so close? Why don't you get over?
And a backseat driver doesn't have to be in the back seat.
No, that's just the term.
Right. So does your wife ever say, well, if you want to drive?
Usually she just says, shut the hell up.
Okay. Okay. And what about when your kids are driving? Are you ever a passenger when your kids are driving?
I can't remember the last time.
Really?
I can't remember the last time. I do know this. Brendan was famous for years telling Jen, why are you hitting all those potholes?
Wow.
Then did she start swerving to miss them?
I think she swerves to hit them then.
How many times has he had to walk home from the side of the road?
Not enough.
Yeah.
My best friend in college would always say, it's not going to get much greener than that when the light turned. And I hadn't pulled
That's
out yet.
good.
And I'm like,
I'm stealing that.
Passive
yeah,
aggressive.
a little bit.
Are you guys handle holders, on tight turns? Do you,
Jen is, but I'm not.
Bob, pump the brakes from the passenger side?
Marsha does a lot of,
Yeah.
and I'm like, you cannot do that, because she'll do it even when it's not close. And then all of a sudden, I automatically kind of hit my brakes when I hear the, and that's more dangerous than the rest.
Jen's more likely to comment when she's in the passenger seat than I am.
Okay. All right. The other day, my wife had a loud gasp, and I go, what? And I'm
Yeah.
looking around, and I slow down, and she goes, oh, I just saw something on TMZ. And I'm like,
Do you guys watch TV the whole time you're in
And
the
you
car?
grabbed her phone
I
and
don't
threw it
know.
out the window on
Yeah.
the interstate.
something must have came over on the internet. She wasn't watching it, but it popped up on her phone.
That's pretty funny.
But yes, do not do loud gasps
No.
while someone is driving.
Okay, so what are some of the other annoying things that passengers do? Obviously, we don't like to be told how to drive. That's the most annoying. But what are the other ones?
You're going that way?
Oh, yeah. That's
Passive aggressive.
Yes.
Not really a question.
Nope. It's
I
more
do,
of a
I do that.
I never go this way. That's interesting.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes. Very
that's
snark.
Yeah.
boy, that is the definition of passive aggressive.
I'll tell you one though that drives me crazy, and thankfully my doors are a little heavier. I hate when somebody slams the door so hard on my car.
Why are you picking on Jen again?
Is she a?
Door slammer?
Yep.
My wife uses Google Maps almost entirely. We moved out to St. Charles 5 years ago, and she still acts like she doesn't know where she's going.
Oh, Marcia's lived here for 40 years and uses it.
That's on them.
Yes.
But the Google Maps will take you the route that Google and the algorithm thinks is the fastest. And I'm always like, oh, we should go the back way and go this way and that way. She always says, this is where Google's taking me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, okay. And then I shut up.
Maybe Google should pay the car insurance or buy the gas.
Because Google has taken her through some pretty bad neighborhoods because Google don't know.
It's faster.
Yeah, just because, and maybe it's like a minute faster. But, the highway would have been safer than getting off where, the Griswolds got off
Yeah.
in vacation.
That's an interesting one. It's a little bit of a pet peeve if somebody's in the car and they leave trash behind.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about climate control? My dad is always cold because he's in his 70s. And, I'm sweating bullets here. And, now they have, every car's got dual, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, and so that happens with us because my feet are always cold and Jen's feet are always hot.
Uh-huh.
So it's not just the temperature, but the direction of the airflow. And so that becomes an issue. But I get it. I'm abnormally cold and she has the heat issues. So we just got to get your own controls and battle
And
it out.
have at it.
Yeah.
Speaking of feet, what about when somebody puts their feet on the dash?
We're not doing that.
Yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
I've never had a problem with it, but when you put your feet on the dash and your toes on the windshield,
They leave a mark.
you leave toe prints.
Yeah, that's not happening. What are you?
Yeah.
Driving around with hippies?
Yeah.
I'm with you. Keep your feet planted.
Yes.
This is good from the 618 when somebody takes my cup holder. If I will,
yes.
I'll just move it. And
No, I go. I'll just say. But Jen knows now. The one nearest me is mine. The other one is yours, and we're good.
Well, I had to explain to my wife. I said, look, you see where the gear shifter is? I can't go over to my water here because this gets in the way.
It's logical.
Yep.
You got to switch it. So I explained it to her. Hopefully, I mansplained.
Guarantee you did.
As obnoxiously as possible. But now she knows the cup holder rule.
Yeah.
So
It's
Now she
perfectly
knows.
sound. Perfectly sound.
Somebody said, at least your wife will use Google Maps. My wife won't use it because she doesn't like somebody telling her what to do.
boy.
Somebody else said, I love this conversation. It happens in my car all the time with my husband and I'm driving. Somebody else said that they had surgery Friday. My wife drove us home. I swear she was riding that right curb. She was not happy with me.
That's
Isn't it funny? Somebody said they use Waze because it shows the hazards and where the police are located. Every time I don't follow a route, it tells me to I run into terrible traffic.
Is it called Waze? I've never heard of that.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah. Have you used that, Josh?
I've used it. Yeah, my brother, the police officer, uses it all the time.
Oh, I'll have to check it out then.
It's
Why does he use it?
He uses it on long drives down to Gulf Shores. I've never heard of people using it like just around town.
But if you're on a trip.
But on the long trips, it'll tell you where the speed traps are, where the construction is.
So this is slightly off topic, so I apologize. We can steer it right back again. So we're going to Colorado in July. Just
It'll be beautiful.
5 months away, 4 months away.
And even on that long drive, she doesn't put her feet on the dash.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Just check.
She's respectful.
Because somebody said I'm a feet on the dash or out the window girl.
Okay, hippie. Far out. So I haven't been on 70 west of St. Charles in a while. I know they're widening it all the way to Kansas City.
Yeah.
Is it dumb for me to say, let's just drive 50 as we go west through
Tipton
and Jeff City and Sedalia, and then it still gets you to Kansas City?
I'll tell you, I've done it a handful of times. I love it because you're going through some of the old, the old little towns that get passed by, kind of like how the car movies,
Or am I being a baby and just get in line on the interstate? I don't know. That just drives me crazy sitting on the interstate.
Yeah. I don't know where it stands there kind of in Boonville in that bridge anymore because that's really a headache. But I will say, even now, simply going to Tipton where my mother-in-law is, we'll get off at Kingdom City and go 54 250 and take it. And some of that's even 4 lanes.
It's
really nice.
Divided highway.
Really?
It's
Yeah.
really good.
I went to Kansas City in September, so 6 months ago, and the only real traffic was in Kansas City.
Okay.
Once you got to Kansas City.
So
The Boonville Bridge and that construction wasn't bad?
I don't remember anything.
I don't think you were paying attention.
What about between Columbia and, say, Kingdom City? Weren't they widening it there? Is it all good?
I didn't remember seeing
Maybe
it.
we can get some reports.
I was going to say, let's not
On the
trust
text
this
line.
one.
It was, again, 6 months ago. So,
All
It's been going on for a while, though.
Yeah. I could be overthinking it, but I thought that it was just the idea of you're excited to go on vacation, now you're stuck in traffic. And
Yeah.
I'd rather, and I thought I looked once, it made me think of when you guys were talking about the map apps. And I put the Highway 50 away, and it was only like a half hour, 40 minutes longer
Yeah.
than going 70.
No,
really?
it's not bad at all. I agree. Somebody said, I think I drive just fine. My husband thinks he drives just fine. Therein lies the problem. That's good. A lot of people saying Waze is awesome. You can report police or accidents for other drivers.
I would check it out.
Somebody said, my wife and her sister live by that stupid Waze. A lot of people.
Oh, good.
Interesting. Waze is great. Okay. Lots of things here. Oh, here's a good one, too, that I can agree with. When I get the seat adjusted perfectly, and then somebody comes in and messes it up, and it takes me a month to get it back where I really like it.
In my Jeep, I had the electronic button
Where you can set it.
and it
Preset.
wasn't preset. And even if you had to change it, it wouldn't boop boop. You just move the button. Now I've got I've got the Bronco, and it's more of a crank for back and forth. But I've gotten to where it's not a big deal.
You can you can find your spot quickly.
I can find my spot, and if Jen's driving it, she adjusts. It's really, that one doesn't bother me.
Let me tell you this. I did the preset on my car, and, you set it and forget it. But then my wife gets in, she hits her preset or whatever. I'll go back and hit my old preset and then realize I have to still do a little.
Yeah. That's what I find.
It's changed. My preferred style has apparently changed over 7 years.
Well, I think it also depends on what shoes you have on. I think there are some things that go into it, because if your sole of your shoe is a little thicker, then maybe you want to be back or up a little bit. I'm just saying. And I will tell you, I don't have to worry about any of that in the RV because she never drives. That seat is where I need it to be all the time. Well, unless, in the RV, you turn around those main chairs once you get parked for a little while, and that turns into my recliner. So then I kind of have to readjust it again. But I got to tell you, being on any road trip in an RV is so much better because you've got that big windshield and you can see everything. You really can. And even the windows beside you. I mean, having a motorhome has just been a game changer for us. Now, I know my mom and dad preferred a pull behind just because then when you get to a spot, you have a vehicle. And of course, mom might want to go shopping or dad might want to go to a different fishing hole that's there on the property. What I'm trying to tell you is Byerly RV has all of that stuff and then some. They have more than 30 brands of new RVs in stock. We're talking cool travel trailers, and a travel trailer like that back end can be a lot of things. Even they are now making travel trailers with a double-decker deck on it. I just saw this one that is crazy. You've got fifth wheels, you've got camper vans, you've got diesel and gas motorhomes, and then you have toy haulers, which if you have any sort of toy, even if it is a bike and you don't want to put a bike rack on, this thing kind of folds down and you put all of it in the back, and then it's just a ramp where you pull all your toys out. Great. And then once the toys are out, that can turn into an office, it can turn into a bedroom, it can turn into like a cool hangout spot where you have a TV. It really is. I mean, camping is not what it used to be. There's a reason a lot of people call it glamping. You can rough it if you want, you can be as fancy as you want. There are so many great RV parks now in the country, and Byerly RV can help you with that as well. Byerly has been around for more than 75 years, so those RVs have changed quite a bit. I mean, now you've got flat screen TVs, smart TVs in every single one of them. You've got all kinds of, ports for every single kind of phone. You've got sound systems throughout the entire thing, and then you also have washer and dryers and dishwashers. So if you've ever thought, you know what, it might be fun to get out and go see the country, stop at Byerly RV and just check out all of the ways you can do that. ByerlyRV.com is the website, or stop by the dealership there in Eureka at 109 and 44.
Hi, everybody. McGraw-Millhaven here for family-owned and family-operated Lisi Lumber since 1872. Lisi Lumber is now producing and delivering custom kits for pre-assembled trestles, pavilions, and pergolas made to your specifications. Union-made, union-delivered, homeowners and do-it-yourselfers, you're going to love this. Got an idea? Send them a sketch and some dimensions, and they'll do the rest. For the best woods and pre-assembled hardscapes, call Lisi Lumber at 618-234-0105 or LisiLumber.com.
Between all the holiday parties,
weekend tailgates,
and family get-togethers. Oh, they're here. Hey, who needs something to drink?
we've been overindulging a little more than usual. Thank goodness we both added active liver to our diets to give our livers some much-needed support so we have the energy we need to enjoy the holidays.
Active Liver from New Nordic contains a powerful blend of turmeric, milk thistle, and globe artichoke extract designed to give your liver maximum protection and help it do vital jobs like removing toxins from alcohol, rich foods, and sweets.
Try Active Liver today and enjoy all the holiday treats with the peace of mind of knowing you're giving your liver some relief.
Find Active Liver online at Amazon, Vitacost.com, or iHerb.com. Or pick it up today at CVS, Meijer Grocery, or ShopRite. Enjoy life to the fullest with Active Liver.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment. You fill out a health questionnaire form. You get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home. And then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners. And then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Mark Lawson here, owner of Black Fox Cooper. We're an Anderson certified contractor. That means every window we install meets Anderson's exacting standards for quality, performance, and durability, and our installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. With over 20 years experience knowing our customers, we install the optimal windows to keep your home comfortable, efficient year-round, and most projects are completed within a day or two with minimal disruption to your daily routine. Financing is available. Call 314-270-1484 for a free consultation and estimate, or online at blackfoxcooper.com.
You know, over the years, Lordo's has become part of the family for many, many St. Louis families. For 80 years, they've been helping St. Louis families with all of the jewelry needs, whether it's the diamond ring, a diamond ring, maybe something for St. Patrick's Day, something for an anniversary, Valentine's Day. Throughout the years and throughout the calendar, it's Lordo's as your go-to. Whether it's men or women, you want to repurpose something or buy something new, Lordo's Diamonds in the heart of Ladue on Clayton Road. You see, it's a family business. The family's been running it for years, and they learned it from their father, who learned it from their father. And so that family jeweler, it's where generations of St. Louisans go. Grandparents have gone there. Your grandkids will go there. Right there in Ladue on Clayton Road, across the street from a Norman Rockwell-esque firehouse, is Lordo's Diamonds. Go in, make a friend, and make them your family jeweler, because you can thank me later. 314-432-8008 or online, lordosdiamonds.com.
The Missouri Valley Conference men's basketball tournament has been the showcase for buzzer beaters, madness, and championship glory. With nearly 5 decades of heart-racing excitement, it begins here at Enterprise Center. The 2026 State Farm MVC Tournament, presented by Credit Union One, Great Southern Bank, and SSM Health, tips off on March 5th through 8th. Celebrate 50 years of the Valley's postseason championship. Get your tickets now at archmadness.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It is 3:32 on this Tuesday. Captain Paul, how's traffic?
Heidi, there's a crash on 270 north, a ramp to I-70. Elsewhere, an accident on 5570 west at 64, and Illinois Route 3 is causing a stop and go back up to Exchange. And we have a stalled vehicle on 70 east past Lucas and Hunt with traffic jam back to Bermuda. This traffic report is brought to you by St. Dominic High School. St. Dominic is a Catholic co-ed community that's forming disciples of Jesus Christ. Located on 50 beautiful acres in O'Fallon, Missouri, St. Dominic offers more than 125 course offerings and 95 college credit hours. St. Dominic also has 70 athletic teams, an award-winning theater department, band, and choir. Schedule a tour today at stdominichs.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Now it's time for the KTRS Book Club.
It's called reading. Top to bottom, left to right. Group words together as a sentence.
Powered each week by the St. Louis County Library on the Big 550.
Well, you see, I spell them like this sounds, you know.
KTRS.
Tonight, the St. Louis County Library Foundation's favorite author series, along with Left Bank Books, is presenting best-selling suspense author James Rollins for a discussion and signing of his latest book, Trust No One. But first, He's here with us. It is such a pleasure to have you here.
Well, thank you, Heidi. I appreciate it.
And welcome home. You actually spent a little time in St. Louis.
Not a little time, most of my life. Junior high, high school.
The formative years.
Went to Mizzou, both undergraduate, got my veterinary degree out that way.
So you got your veterinary degree. When did you start writing? When did your mind take over in this creative way?
Well, I was always sort of the storyteller in my family. My goal in life was to terrorize my younger brothers and sisters, If tears were involved, all the better. So I call it my storytelling. My mom called it lying.
Oh.
But storytelling, tomato.
Yeah.
But so that was that part of my personality. But of course, I always wanted to be a vet. So that was my career track. But when I graduated and sort of started working for a while, I kept reading, which is like throwing gasoline on that little twisted corner of my brain.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought one of these days it wouldn't be fun to walk into Barnes & Nobles or any type of shop and see my book on a shelf. And began writing short stories, which were uniformly rejected.
Really?
But based on that success, I thought I'll write a novel. And lo and behold, that sold, then another one sold, then my clients became suspicious something was going on with their veterinarian. Posters in the lobby, get your cat spayed, get a free book. I wasn't above it.
So you sold that first novel. So getting over the hump, did you have to get an agent? Or did you sleep on the doorsteps of publishers, or what did you do?
Well, I pursued an agent, and I was soundly rejected by 49 different agents, and they weren't always nice. Some of them would write you a little handwritten note, yes, we're rejecting your book, but also I'm going to give you a little pat on the shoulder. This is unpublishable. So,
oh my.
Yeah, they were very
Have
kind.
you replied to them lately?
I still see the one that wrote this. I have that note that says this is unpublishable, and I still see that editor at conferences occasionally, and I just rib him constantly.
I was going to
Great
say,
motivation.
has he ever said I was wrong?
He didn't say it was wrong. He basically sort of shied around that and said, well, things come across that just wasn't my taste at that time, but, I do sort of regret we didn't grab you while we could.
Well, James, you've been called the master of international intrigue. I mean, that has to
That's what I say.
be pretty good.
Oh, you
Well,
gave
some people.
Exactly.
write up of your own
It
book.
counts.
So you're a veterinarian by trade.
Yes.
And then you write suspense thriller novels. You see a lot of people that maybe work in the tech industry and they write novels that are heavy tech. Do you have is there like something in some of your stories where knowing that you have a background as a veterinarian, you say, oh, okay.
The cow did it.
That's why the description of the dog was so faithful.
There are a lot of animals in my books.
Okay.
For obvious reasons. One of my biggest, sort of most favorite characters is an Army Ranger and his military war dog. And I met them when I was doing a USO tour of authors to Iraq and Kuwait during the end of the Gulf War.
Wow.
And me being a veterinarian, I see these guys working with their dogs. And I'm like, can I pet your dog? And said, well, if you want to lose a hand, go for it, dude. But I was really like that relationship between the handler and their dog. And I was curious about how intimate that was. How do they train them? What's that bond like? And I tried to capture it in print. Initially, I was just doing it from the Army Rangers end of that leash. But I realized, no, I have to go to the other side of the leash. So there's actually in those books, there's scenes written from the dog's point of view.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's
I didn't want
good.
to do like a Disney version of the dog where they break out into song halfway through the novel. I wanted to be authentic, leaning on my background as much as I can, and make it an authentic read about what's that four-legged hero really like.
All right.
That's cool.
I've got a follow-up question.
Sure.
With those military dogs, generally they have a handler and they trust the handler. What if that military dog needs a checkup? Is the handler trained?
That is the weird thing was that when I was in Iraq, I was at Saddam Hussein's palace. That's where they put you up when you were doing that. It was
okay.
very gaudy. And
Wait a minute, who put you up there?
The USO.
The USO.
did.
Okay.
Yeah. And no, Saddam did. He was
well,
very generous
we
that
go
way.
way back.
He was a big reader.
He was the one that gave me
James,
that
my
quote.
friend,
He was
come
the
in.
one.
Master of intrigue.
But oddly enough, we talked about they do have Army vets. And while I was there, I turn around and there is one of my classmates from the University of Missouri standing there.
Wow.
Like, hey, Jim, how's it going? I said, oh my God, Dr. L, what are you doing here? So it was just strange that you would run into somebody like that out there. But yes, they have Army vets that take care of those dogs.
Okay, well, let's get back to this new novel. This isn't part of your popular Sigma Force series. This is a standalone thriller. Who's at the center of this story?
This one is an American student named Sharon Carr. She's, oddly enough, enrolled in a postgraduate degree program at the University of Exeter, and this is true.
Okay.
It started in the fall of 2024. You can get a master's degree in witchcraft.
Ooh.
Now, it's not teaching you to cast spells. It's basically an academic program on the history, the mythology behind witchcraft, occultism, spiritualism. And she's enrolled in this program. And she gets thrust one Halloween evening while she's in the library. So her professor runs up to her and shoves this book in front of her, quite panicked, says, hide this book. Don't even tell me where you hide this. And more importantly, trust no one. Then he's promptly, ritualistically murdered. She's framed for it. They're on the run with some classmates, trying to figure out what is this book, who's after us. Law enforcement's chasing them, and they're on a big pursuit across Europe to try to figure out, what is the secret of this book.
When you're writing about witchcraft, do you have to really do a lot of research, or does a lot of that just come from your creativity?
Right from TikTok. That's the best place for research. There's a whole witch talk subsection of TikTok. No, I did a lot of research, actually on TikTok too, but it's...
So has your life travels in Europe, did that kind of give you the background to take your protagonist through all that?
It helps. I mean, for any writers out there, you don't have to go to the places that you write about. There's plenty of resources to learn. I wrote a whole book set in the country of Oman. Never stepped foot in the country of Oman. People that have been to Oman get emails from them like, "When were you there?" I was never there.
Yeah, it's a book.
But when I do travel, I do like to ask people. I'll walk up to some tiny village, some person that's selling a shop or selling something in a shop, and I'll say, tell me a secret about your town.
Wow.
And oftentimes they will, I don't know if it's the anonymity, but they just come out right and tell you the most amazing things. And oftentimes those little seeds, when I ask those questions, become one of my novels.
Yeah,
okay,
that's great.
I've always wondered this. By the way, we're talking to James Rollins, who is a best-selling suspense author, and his latest book is Trust No One. When you're writing a thriller like this one, do you ever change your mind about halfway through who the real killer is going to be? Or do you stick with it?
I do. I don't deal with a really detailed outline. I know the beginning, I know the end, and I know a few tent poles that are going to hold up the story. But my joy of writing is a discovery between those tent poles where the story's a little amorphous. I got to sort of figure it out. But being a sort of a plot-driven story, I do sort of know who the bad guy is. Yeah. I got to plant things early and leave little red herrings and little breadcrumbs for when I say, "Aha, you're the one." Then you go, "Oh, yeah, I should have seen that because you told me this, and that." So now I get it. So you feel satisfying rather than just, it pulled out of the blue.
You mentioned earlier how cool it would be to see, your book and your name on a book somewhere in Barcelona, but now you're published in, 20-plus languages. So it's not
40?
Just here. Yeah.
Don't undercut me.
Okay,
40
sorry.
languages.
20 times 2.
Exactly.
I mean, that's pretty
That's
incredible.
Pretty amazing. I get emails constantly. Usually they're in their native tongue. I'm like, I don't know what you're asking. Got to go to Google Translate, copy and paste, figure out what they're asking. But it's very cool that stories that I'm writing in my little office in Tahoe is somewhere in Mozambique. Somebody's reading my story.
So cool.
Who do you like to read?
I grew up reading everybody. One of my biggest influences was Michael Crichton.
Great.
Big influence.
Yeah.
Clive Cussler, another big one. Tom Clancy. So you'll see a lot of those influences in my writing. Dan Brown, of course. So I read everybody. I love mysteries. I love thrillers. I love horror novels.
So you did, if Wikipedia is to be believed, you did the novelization of the Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
I did, because I sort of was known to writing sort of archaeological thrillers. My very first Publisher's Weekly review said, this book is like a cross between Dan Brown and Indiana Jones. And to this day, I don't know if they were making fun of me, insulting me, or whether that was a compliment. I took it as a compliment. But that went up some type of flagpole, and eventually I got the call from Lucasfilm saying, "Hey, we're looking for somebody to novelize our script. Would you be willing to do that?" And so,
Now, how does that work? Do you see the movie ahead of time? Are you just handed the script? You have to flesh out things that aren't in the movie or the script.
Yeah, they wanted the book out the same day of the movie.
As the movie.
Oh. So that means you're writing concurrently as they're filming. So I read the script at Lucasfilm Studios out in San Francisco, and they were very protective of that.
How many papers did you have to sign?
Lots of papers. As a matter of fact, my copy had my James Rollins watermarked into each page.
Yeah.
And they gave that to me and said, "You're not allowed to leave the building with this."
Whoa.
Well, how can I possibly do the novelization if I don't have physical I can't come out to San Francisco every single day and work out of your office. Says, "Well, you could take some notes." Okay, well, can I copy the entire script? They go, well, that said, yeah. So
They did.
there's nothing that says you can't. So I just spent about 8 hours. I just copied the script by hand. So I had a copy at home that I could work from. But they also give me a special code on a computer where you can see the dailies that are being shot, because a lot of stuff's in script's not that detailed.
Really?
What they're wearing, what type of vehicle they're driving in. So you have to sort of see it on the screen, so it matches what you're writing.
And then if you ever had any questions, was George available? Was Steven Spielberg available?
The screenwriter was available.
Okay.
Yes, that was my intermediate. Usually what I found is it's better to, ask for forgiveness rather than permission, because I usually find early on, can I do this? They would say no. I would just do it, and then they would be fine with it.
This is just us talking, okay? Just us right here in the
just
room.
a secret. Nobody's listening.
Yeah, no one.
The novelization's better than the movie, isn't it?
Of course it is.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Always.
Well, also, I got to add about 12 scenes that aren't in the movie. It's just not pure imagination, because you have to flesh things out. You're writing from the point of view of the character, so you're much more in depth about things. So,
did you like that process? Did you like?
It was fun. It was the only time I've ever done it. I've never done it since, because I loved Indiana Jones, and just there's no way I wasn't going to do that. I've been approached by a few other outfits to do novelizations like that. I just said no, just not interested in that subject matter. But it was a great learning experience. It's a challenge. I like to write different things all the time. I don't like to write just this over and over again. I think to stay fresh. Readers have good nose on them. They, I think, can tell when an author's sort of bored with their own material.
Yeah.
So the way I try to keep myself fresh is by challenging myself by doing different things. I've written a vampire series, which seems out of spectrum for the Sigma Force writer.
Yeah.
I've written some fantasy novels too, so I like to just play in different genres just to see if I can, what that feels like.
And you closed your clinic, or is your clinic still open?
The clinic is still there. It's not mine anymore.
Got it.
So back when I had some success, and it took a while. I didn't do it right away. Over time, I thought, well, I think I can do this as a living. And so I sold my clinic, but I stayed employed there for another year, just sort of working my way down incrementally from, just
working your way
part-time
out
to weekends and out.
Yeah.
But I still do some volunteer work.
I probably should know the answer, so forgive me. Has that movie experience reversed with them buying your book?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Yes.
Amazon MGM bought the film rights to my Sigma series.
Wow.
So right
Fantastic.
now they've written the pilot, done some edits with it. They're attaching talent. They've got a budget. So we'll see where that goes.
Well,
what
good
kind
luck.
of say do you have in any of that?
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing at that point. You sign it all over.
Sign it all over.
And they
Matter of fact,
signed the check over to you.
I didn't even know the pilot was done until they were already done many revisions on that pilot. So,
Is that okay?
I will see the movie. I will know it's done when I see the trailer for it on.
And will you go see it?
Well, of course. I'm gonna
Okay.
see it.
Well, a lot of people get weird about it.
I would like to, have a Alfred Hitchcock, little stand-in role. Or
Okay.
Tip my hat when I walk through the back of the seat.
I like that.
Just misses the bus.
Exactly.
That's James. Do they cut out the authors when they make movie and TV versions?
Not
because
always.
They, well, that's not the way I saw it, and that would probably hold up the production. Or
are you calling him a diva?
No, but I could totally see other authors doing that.
Of course. I mean, there's a different, it depends on how much weight you can throw around.
Yeah.
Stephen King, if someone, he says, I want that changed, they're probably going to change that for Stephen King.
Sure.
For James Rollins, not so much.
Okay.
I don't know. You have quite the resume, sir. And this has been such an honor. You guys, you can hear more from James tonight at 7 p.m. at the Clark Family Branch of the St. Louis County Library. His newest thriller, Trust No One, which I love that name, can be found wherever books are sold. This has been such a pleasure, such an honor, and welcome home.
Thank you very much. I'm ready to go get some Lion's Choice.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
John Beal Roofing has been proudly serving homeowners and businesses in the St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river in Missouri and Illinois for over 3 generations. A dependable roof begins with a team you can count on, and that's exactly what you get with John Beal Roofing. Recognized as one of Roofing Contractor Magazine's top 100 roofing companies, John Beal Roofing offers 24/7 emergency service and industry-leading warranties, including a lifetime workmanship warranty for total peace of mind. From upgrading an aging roof or completing a full replacement, the team at John Beal Roofing delivers solutions that are built to code, built to last, and handled with expert care. John Beal also responds quickly with reliable storm damage services backed by decades of experience and 24/7 emergency support. Get started today for expert service and a free, no-obligation estimate by calling 1-800-NEW-ROOF. That's 1-800-NEW-ROOF.
Truck drivers, are you tired of your pay not matching your experience? At Schneider, our truck driver pay is designed so your years of service directly translate to higher earnings. Plus, longtime drivers qualify for larger sign-on bonuses and a larger selection of driving jobs. Pick from dry van, intermodal, tanker, and dedicated opportunities. Ready to be rewarded for your hard work and expertise? Find the right driving job for you at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Ray's Tree Service wants to remind you not to forget about your trees this winter. The spring storms will be here before we know it, and if those trees go untreated, you could have a real mess on your hands. Caring for your trees now will help promote better airflow and light penetration, which can enhance your tree, lawn, and landscape health. Call Ray's Tree Service at 314-821-2665 for a free estimate with one of our qualified arborists, or online at raystreeservice.com.
The Frank and Jill Show.
Hi, this is Frank Cusimano from The Frank and Jill Show. Join us for Wednesday's program. Three of our favorite guests, Sarah Fensky from St. Louis Magazine, the great Greg Willard, Talking Law, and Tariq Khan, the movie The Omen. Be with us tomorrow.
Frank Cusimano and Jill Farmer, weekdays 10 to noon. Right here on KTRS, the talk of St. Louis.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
In a world of change, music captures the journey of the human spirit. Join the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra for Bernstein and Robertson, American Reflections, March 6th and 7th. Conductor David Robertson returns to Powell Hall to present works by 4 American luminaries, including Leonard Bernstein's Symphony 2 and Robertson's own piano concerto, performed by Orly Shahan. The program culminates with Bernstein's Symphony No. 2, The Age of Anxiety, a work exploring the composer's own introspective journey, March 6th and 7th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
Tune in to the Big Sports Show with Greg and Weesey every Thursday night at 8:02 for the Illini Report. Powered by Woods Basement Systems. For up-to-date info on the Illinois men's basketball team on the Big 550 KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Meep, meep. 8 minutes before 4 o'clock, time to check back in with Captain Paul.
Heidi, an accident on 5570 West at 64 and Illinois Route 3 is causing a stop and go back up to Exchange. We have a stalled vehicle on 70 East past Lucas and Hunt, blocking the left lane with traffic jammed back to Florissant Road. And 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by McKnight Place Assisted Living. McKnight Place has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. Call 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
We're in March, and you know that means that spring break will be here in just a couple of weeks, and then summer and swimsuit season is here. Now's the time to really get back to feeling like you again, and I can say, honestly, Premier U has changed my life. You know, as you hit that certain age, and for me it was probably 45, 46, the things that I was doing in all of those other years prior just stopped working. And I fought it for so long. And then finally I said, what am I doing? I know people are having success at Premier U. Why don't I try it? So I went, and it starts, just so smartly with a kind of root cause test. They check your thyroid, they're checking your vitamins, they're checking everything to make sure there's no roadblocks for you. And they want to make sure that, too, we're getting rid of that visceral fat, the fat around your organs, to make sure you're healthy all around. It's not just feeling better in your own skin and fitting in those clothes. It's being healthier. It's giving you more energy. And so Premier U can help with all of that. All of a sudden, you're sleeping better. You're in a better mood, because it's not just about the weight loss medications. It's also about that hormone optimization, and then they can help you as well. So if you're looking to really start that journey to getting back to feeling like you, maybe even better than you've ever felt before, check out Premier U. There's a location on each side of the river, one in Swansea, one in South County. You can go online, premiermed.com, or give them a call and set up that first consultation. 618-750-LIFE. It's 618-750-LIFE.
Back in the days when I was young, I'm not a kid anymore. But some days I sit and wish I was a kid again.
Well, Heidi and Bob, back in the day on this date, March 3rd, 1875, the first indoor game of hockey was played in Montreal.
Wow.
How about that?
1875. You ever seen a hockey game outside? I went when the Blues Blackhawks.
Just on TV.
Yeah. It looks fun. 1887, Helen Keller met her miracle worker, Anne Sullivan. She was 6 years old and had been blind and deaf since before she turned 2. I cannot even imagine how difficult Helen Keller's life was, which makes her story just so inspiring. 1923, Time magazine began publication. Is it still being printed?
Yes.
Time?
Mm-hmm.
Newsweek.
Yeah.
Newsweek is out there. I think it's only online, though. And then in 1931, the Star-Spangled Banner officially became the national anthem of the United States. 1931.
Wow.
So I guess it was.
I prefer America the
unofficial.
Beautiful.
Do you?
I think it's a prettier song.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah.
I don't think I have an opinion either way.
Okay.
Okay.
You can go with the flow.
Yeah. I tell you, if you want to go with the flow when it comes to your taxes, you can give Jeff Zufall.
Stopped by on my way to work.
Did you?
Beautiful new office.
Yeah.
I guess it's not that new
Where is
anymore.
it? I'll
They've been there
probably
since June.
I'll be there soon.
But
They
absolutely
moved.
stunning.
It's technically still Ellisville, but they moved in. It's Clarkson and Clayton across from the library.
Oh, yeah.
There's a Chick-fil-A over there.
Yeah. Okay.
That's where the new office is. You can go in there, drop off your stuff just like Heidi did. You could tell Jeff a couple things. He'll probably call you in for another meeting, especially if you're a new client, just to figure out who you are, what you do, how many kids. You bring in a couple of paycheck stubs and all that stuff, and then it's off to the races. And if you have any more information to give Jeff, you just call him back and say, I forgot that we have this, and that as well. He can do your taxes and make sure that you can keep more of what's yours. Capital Advisory Group is the name of the office. Capital Advisory GRP is the website, and you can find them on the phone, 636-394-5524, capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Mom, what do you always say? There's nothing sadder than jewelry that sits in a drawer. That's why we are proud to offer jewelry repair on site at Newssetter's Fine Jewelry. We know that your jewelry is important to you, and we take that part of our job very seriously. Visit us at Doherty Ferry in Big Bend or learn more at wowdiamonds.com.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off, and if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
Mark Lawson here, owner of Black Fox Cooper. We're an Anderson certified contractor. That means every window we install meets Anderson's exacting standards for quality, performance, and durability, and our installation is guaranteed for 2 years, in addition to the 20-year warranty on the glass. In many cases, we can upgrade your existing Anderson windows with new energy-efficient glass at a cost far less than replacing the whole window. Financing is available. Call 314-270-1484 for a free consultation and estimate, or online at blackfoxcooper.com.
Mizzou basketball on the Big 550 KTRS is powered by Graybar. Graybar.
On the run, Mitchell for the plus, Missouri by 20.
Tonight, your Mizzou Tigers travel to Oklahoma to play against the Sooners at 6 p.m. Pre-game begins at 5:30 p.m.
Catch all the action right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
Presented by Graybar for all your electrical and datacom solutions.
Right baseline to the left, jams it as he hangs.
Meet me at the Village Bar. Ready for the world's best cheeseburger, homemade onion rings, trashed wings? It's the Village Bar for food and sports. Cards, Blues, Mizzou, NFL. The game's always on. Open 7 days a week in De Pere. Grab your friends, grab a cold beer. We'll see you at the Village Bar.
News. I'm Michelle Franzen. The conflict in the Middle East now on its fourth day and showing no end in sight. President Trump defending his decision to launch strikes on Iran, saying that Iran had plans to attack Israel and other countries first. The president says the U.S. is beating back Iran's military.
They no longer have air protection. They no longer have any detection facilities at all left. And so they're going to be in for a lot of hurt.
Some military experts warn a long, drawn-out war with Iran could drain U.S. military resources. Iranian forces continuing to target Israel and Arab states, leaving thousands of Americans stranded and in the danger zone. Secretary of State Marco Rubio says the State Department is working on evacuation flights. ABC's Matt Rivers is in Beirut, Lebanon, and says many commercial flights in the region are canceled.
There are a lot of Americans who live and work in this part of the world. There are people who are here on vacation. They all remain trapped for the most part at this point because airspace remains closed. And that's not to mention the continued threats that U.S. bases, military bases, and U.S. embassies are experiencing here as they remain consistent targets of Iranian missiles.
The conflict with Iran taking place as voters in Arkansas, Texas, and North Carolina hold the first primary elections today, leading up to the 2026 midterms. ABC's political director Avery Harper says control of Congress is on the line.
As voters begin to cast ballots in midterm elections, President Trump is selling his vision of a booming economy.
This is the golden age of America.
But his bold declaration comes as he faces the lowest approval numbers of his second term. Our latest ABC News Washington Post Ipsos poll finds 60% of Americans disapprove of the job he's doing.
Baseball season just around the corner, and the St. Louis Cardinals drumming up a new incentive to bring fans back to the ballpark. Some seats will include an all-you-can-eat option for those savory and sweet snacks. The price, $29. You're listening to ABC News.
We'll admit, we've already thrown in the towel on the New Year's resolution.
Yeah, and we made it through dry January. But one healthy new habit we're sticking with is Active Liver from New Nordic. Did you know your liver works around the clock processing food, sugar, alcohol, and everyday toxins? All things that can really impact your health.
That's why daily support matters. Active Liver is designed to help protect normal liver function and support your body's natural detox process.
With trusted ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and artichoke extract, it's gentle enough to take all year long.
No harsh cleanses, no extreme detoxes, just simple daily liver support. We really feel the difference.
Yup, more energy and the peace of mind knowing we can enjoy the good things in life while giving our liver the love it needs.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or NewNordicUSA.com. Or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
51 degrees at 4:03 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. Today, Missouri U.S. Senator Josh Hawley led a subcommittee hearing to examine the crisis of child trafficking in the United States. The subcommittee will explore how Congress can more effectively dismantle the criminal networks that profit from the exploitation of children. Missouri residents may soon be able to claim tax credits for child care services. The proposal in the Missouri House of Representatives would allow taxpayers to claim a tax credit of up to 75% of the contribution. The measure would also allow child care providers to claim a tax credit of up to 30%. A Illinois House resolution sponsored by State Representative Amy Ellick of Alton has been adopted by the House Public Health Committee, which will name May 2026 as ALS Awareness Month.
I'm sure that we all probably know someone who has suffered from ALS. ALS is amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. It is a devastating and fatal neurodegenerative condition, which leads to complete paralysis and in most cases death within 5 years of diagnosis.
The resolution honors those who have lived with ALS and supports research and funding. It now moves to the full House for consideration. The Addiction Science Team at the University of Missouri St. Louis has been awarded a $250,000 grant by the Cigna Group Foundation to support the creation of the St. Louis Medication Access Project, which is designed to reduce barriers to methadone treatment. The St. Louis County Animal Shelter is celebrating an important milestone: more than 1,400 pets adopted since the county regained control last year.
When plans were announced to transfer control of the St. Louis County Animal Shelter from the APA to the county in 2025, a leaked internal memo mentioning possible mass euthanasia fueled public backlash. Officials insisted that large-scale euthanasia was never part of the plan and pledged to continue adoptions while rebuilding community trust. Then a parvovirus outbreak forced the euthanasia of dozens of dogs. Since then, the shelter seems to have turned the corner. More than 1,400 animals have been adopted in the past year. That's an average of nearly 4 placements a day. A foster program launched in June has moved more than 800 pets into temporary foster homes. Today, over 150 volunteers are active at the facility, and the shelter's intake has diversified from traditional cats and dogs to include horses, pigs, chickens, ducks, snakes, tarantulas, and even a goat. 1 year after the contentious transition, St. Louis County says its focus remains on keeping animals placed in homes and strengthening community partnerships. Sobe Bay, KTRS News.
St. Louis was the site of the first international soccer match played in the United States, and a new book celebrates the return of soccer to the city. St. Louis Soccer, an illustrated timeline, is written by Dave Lang and published by Reedy Press. This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. 144 acres in North County, the site of the now demolished Jamestown Mall, will be put on the market on behalf of the St. Louis County Port Authority. The North St. Louis County site is zoned for commercial and residential development. The market's now brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune into Straight Talk on Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow down 403 points at 48,501. NASDAQ down 232 at 22,516. And the S&P 500 down 65 at 6,816. Now for KTRS Sports and Traffic, let's check in with Paul.
Steve, Mizzou basketball begins its final week of the regular season with a date at Oklahoma tonight. The last time these two teams played, the Tigers needed 2 buzzer beaters to pull out the win. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 this afternoon on the Big 550. And SLU basketball barely hung on in the latest Associated Press rankings, coming in right at number 25. The Missouri Tigers also received votes, currently slotted as the 4th team out of the poll. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. An accident on 5570 West at 64 and Illinois Route 3 has traffic jammed back to 203. There's debris on the 70 West on-ramp from Jennings Station, and 55 South is running a little slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rack House in Cottleville. The Rack House has made Whiskey Advocate magazine's top whiskey bars in the country list for the 3rd third time. The Rack House in Cottleville averages over 300 whiskey, bourbon, and scotch selections on its menu. The Rack House, featuring upscale casual dining and drinks since 2014. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
The chance for scattered rain continues tonight and tomorrow. An overnight low around 50. Tomorrow's high near 62. At 8 minutes past 4 o'clock, cloudy. 51 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Kuna Food Service has been the trusted food supplier in the Midwest since 1918. For over 100 years, Kuna Food Service has been distributing the highest quality food products to some of your favorite restaurants while delivering superior customer service. When a restaurant puts their trust in Kuna Food Service, they get a team that truly cares about their success. That's why at Kuna, they like to say, they're big enough to handle it, yet small enough to care. Check them out online at kunafoodservice.com.
Every day another adventure. Our greatest discoveries come when we stop searching. Beneath the endless sky, away from the stress of work, the answer to the ancient Zen mystery, the sound of one hand clapping. Take a trip in an RV from Byerly in Eureka.
For the rest of your life, you gotta be there.
Don't miss Straight Talk on Retirement with Jeff and Aaron Lapidus every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. Join this dynamic father-daughter duo every Saturday morning for an entertaining and intimate understanding of the retirement needs you may soon be facing. From decades of financial planning expertise combined with a deep knowledge of healthcare benefits, Aaron and Jeff will give you the Straight Talk on Retirement every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on the Big 550. KTRS. You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our headlines for this Tuesday afternoon, March 3rd. Beastcraft Barbecue Company partners with Niche Food Group on new Brickline Brewhouse at City Foundry. This is exciting. A new sports-focused bar and event space is set to replace Expat Barbecue at City Foundry, with Niche Food Group and Beastcraft Barbecue partnering on the reimagined concept. Now, the new venue, called Brickline Brewhouse, will occupy the current home of Expat Barbecue. The concept is expected to debut this spring following renovations, introducing a more sports-centric atmosphere alongside expanded options for private events and watch parties. Now, under the new arrangement, Beastcraft Barbecue will operate the barbecue kitchen, serving its signature St. Louis-style smoked meats through a walk-up window, similar to the other food hall vendors. Meanwhile, Niche Food Group, founded by James Beard Award winner Gerard Kraft, will oversee the beverage program and the entertainment lineup that is set to include live music, trivia nights, and rooftop programming. I don't know about you guys. Beastcraft has always been one of my favorite barbecue spots.
Good. It's very good.
Heavier presence probably in Illinois, but this will kind of, the existing kitchen and dining space known as Expat will close after March 11th to begin renovations, with an official reopening date for Brickline Brewhouse expected to be announced in the coming months.
That's awesome.
Expat was really good, and when you just said that, my heart sunk a little bit.
I saw it. I saw your face.
But when you say they're being replaced, not even replaced, just a new concept, they're joining forces with Beast. Beast is so good.
I'm trying to think of when you walk in the main doors, there's like that bar right there. Which way do you go?
Left.
Go left, down that way. Okay.
Yep.
I mean, it's kind of indoor outdoor. It's right on the outside wall.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because upstairs, where they're going to have the drink and cocktail program, that's a rooftop patio kind of thing.
Which will be fun.
I've never been up that way, so okay.
It'll be very cool.
Very good. Here's a story. It sounds like we're repeating. I can't believe we are. Convicted stowaway.
Oh boy.
Arrested again.
Again.
After a new alleged ticketless flight from the United States to Italia.
Is this that woman?
It's that woman, Svetlana Dali. Convicted in 2024 for flying to Paris without a passport or a ticket, taken into custody last Thursday at Milan's Malpensa Airport. The official is not authorized to disclose information about the case. Spoke to the AP anyway. FBI spokesperson Emily Molinari said the agency's Newark office was aware of the alleged stowaway, but would not disclose any additional information. I wonder if part of the reason why is you don't want to give, this lady's a nut, obviously. You don't want to give terrorists any ideas on how to do it.
No.
Right?
Oh, my gosh.
And that's why I'm sure that's why they're not disclosing it. But she got on again and got all the way to Italy. I wonder if it was a flight attendant that discovered the problem and turned her in. Or going through customs and not having her passport.
So
I just don't know how you have the guts to try to pull something like that off.
Yeah, she goes through the gate at JFK and snuck onto the flight. And I mean, it's crazy. Now, she's a Russian citizen with U.S. residency. So it just gets layers and layers of complications. But I'm sure she's going to go back to jail.
And they always say if you are confident enough, you could probably get in anywhere. But I had an old radio guy that said with a headset and a clipboard, you can get into any award show.
Some sort of badge.
Yeah. I would say you used to be able to, but these days it's a little harder.
Very difficult.
Yeah.
I always said with a ladder and maybe some work pants. You can, hey, we're here to do to
oh,
fix
you're not on the list. Well, they just called me.
They
Didn't
sent
you
me
hear what
down.
happened backstage?
Sent me down here to fix this. So
go ahead and try it.
And then I take it off and I've got my tuxedo on underneath.
Okay, James Bond.
Yeah, I'm going to the Golden Globes next year. All right. Distance runner Jess McLean. It was the 2026 U.S. Half Marathon. Heidi, you've done one of those.
I have.
13.1 miles. She was 2 miles from the finish line, and she found herself leading the pack with no one in front of her or no one behind her until she realized, boy, there's no one in front of me.
She took a wrong turn.
She took a wrong turn.
No.
The lead car, they have a pace car, took a wrong turn, and she followed it.
That's what you have to do. I mean, you're not really paying close attention to the route, I doubt.
It wasn't just her. As she turned around, she passed 2 other runners that had taken the wrong turn.
So how much out of their way did they go?
She was in first. By the time she got back on the course and finished the race, she ended up 9th.
Oh, that would make me so mad.
Oh, sickening.
Protests were immediately filed and upheld, but then overturned on appeals, and the statement said the event did not meet Rule 243 and that the course was not adequately marked at the point of misdirection. However, the jury of appeals finds no recourse within the rule book to alter the order of the results.
Yeah, how would you do it?
Huh.
They're just like, and they say there's a meeting before every race, and the runners are supposed to familiarize themselves with the course. And the guy in charge of the pace cars came out and apologized profusely and said, "This is on me. I take full responsibility."
Still, I lost the race.
But
I don't care.
I don't either. Yeah.
Stuff your sorries in a sack, mister.
These 1, 2, 3 were now 9th, and it doesn't say what the other 2 ladies finished in.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
So that really stinks. And they say ultimately it's your responsibility to follow the right course.
Well, you know what? This is a prime example of why when I travel, I like to travel with Altair and Colette, because I don't have to worry about which direction I'm going, because Colette handles all of it. And you guys, we are going to Iceland in October. It is going to be a fantastic trip. We're leaving October 23rd, and we're going to land in Reykjavik, and we're going to have a full day there to just go explore that city village. There's so much history right there. It's going to be so much fun, kind of immerse ourselves into the culture of it. But then we're going to take off and we'll go on different bus trips to different places. We'll make the kind of full golden circle, but we're going to see the steaming lava fields, the massive glacier sculpted mountains and valleys, because you experience both of them. And then you've got these gorgeous waterfalls, but we don't just see the waterfalls like we would typically see one from afar. We get to take a hike kind of behind them. The pictures that I've seen from that view are absolutely stunning. And I haven't even mentioned the northern lights, which we are going to go in search of every single night. That's why we're going in October, because this is the best time. We're still kind of not in that freezing cold temperatures. We're in maybe chilly at night temperatures, but that's the best time to see the northern lights. And we're going to go every single night with a guided tour that's going to take us to the best possible place to see Mother Nature's best work of art. So you have until March 25th to sign up. Don't miss out. Join me. Call our friends at Altair Travel, 314-968-9600. You can also go to our website to learn a little more, ktrs.com. But Colette handles all of it. The flights, the meals, the hotels, all of those local experiences. You just make memories. Again, you can call Altair at 314-968-9600. Coming up, we're chatting with Erik Siemers, the editor of the St. Louis Business Journal, about a big story unfolding in Glen Carbon, Illinois.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment, you fill out a health questionnaire form, you get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home, and then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners, and then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Out here, the bright lights show you who's ready and who's just talking. AT&T's been steady in the pocket since 1876. Take T-Mobile. They talk a big game about price locks, then get smacked for deceptive ads. 150 years of playing it straight tends to show. AT&T. When you compare, there's no comparison.
Based on Metrics United States Root Report 1H 2025. Tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. Root Metrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T. Based on advertising challenges of wireless and home internet providers filed from 2022 to 2025.
Hey, it's Julie Buck for The Only Facial. I was driving around the other night, and I was so excited when I saw another The Only Facial logo in Creve Coeur. That's their newest location. Now, The Only Facial, you might have heard about it. Every single treatment includes 11 different steps. It's one price, $125, and that includes your gratuity. But for that, you're going to get dermaplaning, you're going to get an enzyme peel, therapeutic massage, extractions, LED light therapy, a treatment mask, hydration. I mean, it just goes on and on. All 11 steps, every facial, and they have several locations. Like I said, the Creve Coeur one is the newest. But here we go. De Pere, Sunset Hills, St. Charles, U-City, Clayton. You will love this. I'm telling you, it's the best thing going in St. Louis, and now there's one near you. And if you're always struggling to find the perfect gift, we have the solution for you. 3 ways to shop for a gift card. You can order online and pick it up at The Only Facial, visit a store, or you can send your gift online. All happening at theonlyfacial.com. The Only Facial. Go to theonlyfacial.com for more, and you'll be on your way to better skin with a healthy glow.
Oftentimes we talk about make sure you support local, and of course you want to support local, and when you support local and you need windows and doors, you call Larry Thornton and Joe Thornton from the Window Store, 314-739-0002. Why? Well, because they support local and you support local, right? And you're supporting your neighbor to make sure the job is done right. They go the extra mile. In fact, somebody called up Larry Thornton the other day looking for new windows. Larry went out to the house and said, "You don't need new windows. These windows are fine. Thank you very much. Call me back some other time." The other reason why you support Larry Thornton at the Window Store, 314-739-0002, is because local companies support charities. And the Window Store is a proud sponsor of the KTRS Radiothon to support Backstoppers. So a local company that'll do it right with great windows and great doors, and they give back to the community and big supporters of Backstoppers. You need windows, you need Window Store, wswindow.net. Reese Nichols, the most trusted Missouri real estate company, is now proudly serving St. Louis. Berkshire Hathaway Home Services Alliance is now Reese Nichols, a Missouri-born company established 125 years ago. The same trusted agents who served St. Louis for 45 years now have the backing of Missouri's largest brokerage, Reese Nichols. Offices across the metro, in-house services include title and insurance, making your move seamless. They also proudly support the Ronald McDonald House. Visit ReeseNichols.com. That's ReeseNichols.com.
This is Mariah, third generation at Newsteaders Fine Jewelry. Buying an engagement ring can be intimidating. At Newsteaders, we ensure complete understanding of your purchase. We offer a choice in both lab and mine-grown diamonds and are able to work with any budget. Let our family help educate you on your choice at Big Ben and Doherty Ferry or at wowdiamonds.com.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS. This is the Business Journal Report with editor Erik Siemers on the Heidi Glaus Show. Powered by Capital Advisory Group. CapitalAdvisoryGRP.com.
Well, there is a big story unfolding in Glen Carbon, Illinois, that a lot of people might not know about. Erik Siemers, editor of the St. Louis Business Journal, is here to tell us what's happening. Welcome back.
I'm glad to be here.
So there's a big project plan for the Metro East. What do you know about it?
Well, it's big in every way you can imagine it. It's a $2 billion retail and entertainment development that is designed to keep Illinois shoppers home rather than have them head over to Missouri and vice versa. It decided to attract folks from the Missouri side over to Metro East. So real estate development firm C.R. Holland is proposing this project at about $1.97 billion on 1,534 acres at the interchange of Interstates 270 and 255 in Glen Carbon. That's an area that right at the interchange, a lot of vacant land right there.
It's really farmland right now, isn't it?
That's right.
Okay.
And it would build out about 3.5 million square feet of buildings. The idea is to attract destination type of tenants. That could be, in addition to big box retail, it could be entertainment, it could be multiple hotels, athletic facilities. They're pursuing STAR bonds, which is an acronym for sales tax and revenue bonds issued by municipalities and counties. Now, STAR bonds, you might recall from last year, the debate over the Kansas City Chiefs and where they would locate. They were attracted to Kansas because they're using their STAR bonds program to help provide incentives to draw the Chiefs over to Kansas.
So this is a new type of sales tax incentive.
Well, that's interesting. Actually, it isn't. It's been around for a while, but it changed a lot.
Okay.
So going back in time, and this is something I just learned. I never knew about this well before I got here. In 2009, these same developers had proposed another big development using Illinois' STAR bonds, which existed at that time, to build a development that was to include a Legoland amusement park. And again, this is 15 years ago, so it's long removed from most of our memories. And that program, that project was eventually killed. In part, we were told because local businesses were concerned that it was going to end up drawing business away from existing businesses in favor of new ones. So they redrew the program in December under the guidance of Governor J.B. Pritzker and with a lot of help from local representatives in Metro East, where it now requires the projects to have things that do not otherwise exist in that area. Has to be something brand new. So Glen Carbon has nominated this project for what they're calling, the state calls a NOVA district, NOVA, which is an acronym for New Opportunities for Vacation and Adventure. And those tax incentives require more than 500 acres of development and a reasonable expectation of at least $500 million in capital investment. So, and it would have to attract more than 1 million visitors annually and create 1,500 jobs. So what they really think they're going to do here is create some sort of attraction that would draw people to this part of Illinois on a regular basis. In the Kansas City metro area, they use the Star Bond, for example, to get the Great Wolf Lodge, which is very popular, the indoor water park hotel concept. Something like that could apply here. They don't have any tenants yet, but they are. Those are details that we are likely to learn more about as the year progresses.
It seems like a very aggressive and high concept deal. You know, I've seen towns like in South Lake in Texas where they've created like a town square, but modern with lots of retail. I've seen in suburban Kansas City, Kansas, where the baseball stadium, the soccer stadium. What else is just going there now? We just did the story.
The Chiefs and the soccer.
The Chiefs and all that.
The
but
track.
there's tons of retail. And so does it sound like kind of a hybrid of those two concepts?
Sort of, yeah, absolutely. So essentially these Star Bonds allow areas, Metro East, because it has a certain degree of certain population level, they're allowed to have as many as 3 separate projects pursuing these Star Bonds, according to folks who are familiar with that. This one, in addition to this Nova one that's focused purely on entertainment and attractions like that, there's also 2 ancillary bonds that they're going to pursue as part of the Star Bonds program next to it that are smaller in scale, wouldn't be as big destination kind of things, but are still really big, which in their entirety would encompass the entire 1,500-acre part of the metro area there.
Wow.
So the folks I've talked to, just this afternoon, I had one of the leaders of the Leadership Council of Southwestern Illinois, an economic development group over there, who really believes this can be kind of a transformational moment for Metro East. Having something that is reasonably close to the Missouri line, and over in a part of the region where folks just maybe don't have a reason to go to, can just really change the perspective of the way people look at Metro East and engage with that part of our metro area.
Yeah. Is C.R. Holland a local developer?
Yeah, they are. They were also involved in the 2009 project,
Okay.
pursued Star Bonds elsewhere throughout the years. So it's pretty clear. I mean, Glen Carbon is, I think, what most people think of Glen Carbon is just a quaint village. They've got a covered bridge. They're really proud of their placement on best places to live rankings throughout the years. But they've really been a community that is open to commercial development. In the Edwardsville area, most of the big box commercial development is happening on the Glen Carbon side, even though it's really indistinguishable from when you're in Edwardsville to Glen Carbon. So right now there's the Orchard Town Center that's already going over there. That's a shopping district led by the developer, the Steinberg Group, that's going to be anchored by the region's first Meijer department store.
Oh, yeah.
And Glen Carbon is also where the Walmart is out there and where a lot of the general shopping. So it has been a community that has a lot of available land, has been open to development. And this is just a parcel that happens to exist within their village boundaries that is largely farmland and available for a large-scale project. So in a meeting with the town council, with the village council last week, they described the project as saying it could include a waterfront recreation area with paddleboarding, an outdoor resort. They're courting a regional youth sports complex. They'd like to include both an indoor and outdoor concert venue, upscale apartment complexes, a network of outdoor plazas for year-round gatherings. So the possibilities within that grand that much area seem to be pretty endless.
So you just said it now, youth sports complex. Every time I see these pop up, that's the first thing I think of. How are you going to bring in people from not only just St. Louis and the Metro East, but all around the Midwest to come over here, youth sports complex? Would this be competing directly with what we talked about a couple weeks ago at South County Mall?
Almost certainly.
Yeah.
Almost certainly. When we were reporting about the South County Mall plans, where they're, of course, also looking to put a youth sports complex in there, too, we also did a separate story that looked at all of the various projects tied to youth sports endeavors that have been ongoing throughout the region. I think we found about a half dozen different ones that are all youth sports oriented. There's one that's just opening up in Edwardsville that is basketball focused.
And Edwardsville also has a great brand new baseball, softball, and golf.
Yeah, I've heard the golf thing is incredible.
It's like a Top Golf knockoff.
Yeah,
and
yeah, I live right down the road from it. Haven't been yet, but it does look really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Erik, another big story is about the layoffs for block workers. This is a company founded by St. Louis native Jack Dorsey. Maybe more people know it as Square, but this is kind of the overall company, right?
That's right. So the block laid off about 40% of its workforce. So that would be around 4,000 people, I believe, was the headline.
How many of those were employed here in St. Louis?
Well, they aren't really saying.
Okay.
I did put in requests to see if they would give us some numbers on what the tally was here. But they just didn't respond. That's pretty typical of the company. We've had this experience with them in the past. I did run into somebody just arbitrarily the day it happened out in the public who had just looked depressed. And full disclosure, I was having a beer and at the bar next to me, and I just overheard him say, "Yeah, I need a strong one today. I just saw half my coworkers get laid off from the St. Louis office of Square." So it did hit here. The degree and the volume of it is unclear. But, Block is one of those companies that really seem to be on a massive hiring spree company-wide around the pandemic. And some reports I'm seeing about these layoffs, Jack Dorsey himself attributed it to AI, just the rapid pace of AI requiring kind of a flatter organization with fewer people. Some people, I just read in the Wall Street Journal today, they're not buying that. There's some skepticism about that this was just a convenient sort of reason to apply to a company that was just bloated and overhired.
Wow.
So, and Square, of course, famously took over the Globe building downtown. Or was it the Post building? I always get those two mixed up.
Yeah, I think it's the Post.
The Post building downtown right before the pandemic. And initially had planned to take on occupy the whole building. And then when the work from home came and the pandemic hit us all, they downsized and they took a smaller portion of it and they've subleased some of it. So there's another story to be told there in sort of whether they can continue to shrink. How much of that office space do they hang on to?
Well, we will check in with you when that story comes out. You can always read more about what's happening in business news in our area online at bizjournals.com/St. Louis. Erik, thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Are you ready for tax season? Don't let the tax changes passed in the Big Beautiful Bill Act catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Azufal, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and my soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. Since 1976, Capital Advisory Group has been saving our clients money year after year. Give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
Time to check back in with Captain Paul. How's traffic?
Heidi, pretty good. No accidents, just some slow traffic. A stalled vehicle on 55 South past 4500 South Broadway is blocking the two left lanes with the stop and go back up to Gasconade. 64 West is heavy from Kings Highway to Hampton, and 64 East bogs down briefly at 170. This traffic report is brought to you by Neighbors Credit Union. If you're ready to upsize, downsize, or first-time home buy, turn to the team at Neighbors Credit Union. At Neighbors Credit Union, you'll find great rates, expert advice, and personalized friendly service throughout the entire home loan process and beyond. That's just what you'd expect from a great neighbor. Apply online today at neighborscu.org. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Well, Cody Johnson has been described as a Western lifestyle kind of authentic music for cowboys. I mean, he has released 6 self-released albums and 1 major label album. And guess what? You can hear him, see him live at Glennon Live, April 18th at Chaffetz Arena. This is more than a fantastic concert featuring great music. This is a complete night of live entertainment. It's not just Cody. You've got Alexandra Kay as well, who is a local artist who is making her own mark on country music. But all of this is to benefit Glennon.org and the Glennon Foundation. It is a one-of-kind entertainment experience with live music that then also celebrates patients and families, the doctors and nurses at Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, the first freestanding Catholic pediatric hospital in the country. And from the very beginning, I mean, they have really continued to provide the best care available. Now, they haven't been able to do that the whole time, but without all of the support from the community and different businesses and just attending a concert like Glennon Live, because that's where kind of donations come in. I mean, Cardinal Glennon has never turned a child away. They've never said, look, we can't give you this therapy that is obviously needed because you can't afford it or insurance doesn't cover it. They don't do that, and that's because of donations and the Cardinal Glennon Children's Foundation. So if you want to, you can just make a donation to Cardinal Glennon Children's Foundation. Or if you want to have a fun night out, you can attend Glennon Live April 18th with Cody Johnson and Alexandra Kay. You can get tickets. You can learn more. You can read some of the fantastic stories about patients and doctors and nurses at Glennon.org.
Hey, it's Jill Farmer for Premier Heating and Cooling. When winter hits St. Louis, your furnace doesn't get a day off. And if yours is older, it may be running nonstop and still not keeping you comfortable. Winter has a way of exposing weak links. You're probably paying more and getting less. Or if your home never quite feels warm enough in the winter, your furnace may be telling you something else, especially if it's been around for a while. That's why I want you to call Premier Heating and Cooling. Their technicians go through 5 years of training beyond industry standards. It's Premier standards. Heating your home shouldn't feel like a struggle. Older furnaces work harder and use more energy. If you want lower energy bills and better heat, it's just all around smarter to consider a new furnace. And yes, Premier offers financing, which makes upgrading a whole lot easier. So whether you need a tune-up or you're ready for something new, make your winter a lot more comfortable for your home or your business. Call 636-916-1122. PremierHeatingCooling.net. Comfort you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing a family legal matter, call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL.
There's a lot on the line in divorce. This is Joe Cordell of Cordell & Cordell, the largest family law firm in the country, with over 35 years of helping clients navigate divorce. But being big doesn't mean less personal or less local. Our attorneys live and work in your community, and as neighbors, they understand the challenges your families face. Divorce touches all areas of your life: your home, savings, retirement, and of course, kids. So when you find yourself facing divorce, you need a partner you can count on.
If you or anyone you care about is facing divorce, contact Cordell & Cordell today. With over 100,000 clients served, we understand the challenges you're facing on a personal level. Call Cordell & Cordell today at 1-855-GET-LEGAL. That's 1-855-GET-LEGAL. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. 600 Kelwood, St. Louis.
Truck drivers, your comfort matters. And at Schneider, we're here to make every mile better. Drivers at Schneider use newer, more reliable equipment that's spec'd with safety features and amenities that keep them comfortable any time of year. Plus, while you're out on the road, Schneider's nationwide facility network offers secure parking and the comfort of a home away from home to make your life easier. Upgrade to a better driving job with better equipment. Find jobs near you and apply at SchneiderJobs.com. That's SchneiderJobs.com.
Catch wall-to-wall MVC Arch Madness action all month long right here on the Big 550 KTRS, featuring the Valley on the Big 550 Monday nights at 8 and game coverage all tournament long March 5th through the 8th. Arch Madness on the Big 550 brought to you in part by White Castle, Together Credit Union, Fisher & Fritchell, and by Hackman Lumber. The smartest way to do your homework is Hackman Lumber. Arch Madness on the Big 550 KTRS.
Galmish & Sons have been providing quality heating and cooling services since 1950. They work exclusively with Lennox, the preferred choice of St. Louis homeowners. Call Galmish & Sons for your next Lennox HVAC installation and service. 314-993-1110.
Are you retired? Are you thinking about retiring? Who is helping you with retirement? Might be time to check out the show When Retirement Happens, hosted by Kevin Lloyd of Legacy Wealth Advisors. Saturday at 1, Sunday at noon on the Big 550 KTRS.
When you want to send flowers to a loved one for a birthday, anniversary, or that special occasion, call your friends at Walter Knoll Florist. Walter Knoll is family-owned and operated and offers custom designs by expert designers. A huge inventory and selection that only the largest florist can offer, with quality and care that no grocery store florist can meet. They have several locations in the St. Louis metro area to serve you. Order online today at WKF.com. That's WKF.com. Walter Knoll Florist, your personal florist since 1883.
At Maryville University, we power dreams, not just degrees. For nearly 150 years, we've empowered graduates to build successful careers. At Maryville, expect a rigorous, technology-driven, mentor-inspired education in a diverse and inclusive learning environment. We help you take it to the next level, no matter what field you choose. Now is the time to turn your ambition into action and transform your dream into reality. Start your journey at maryville.edu.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
I think time capsules are kind of fascinating. And, you know, America is celebrating the nation's 250th birthday this year. And Americans are being asked to kind of think a little further, as in 250 years ahead. So what is happening is there has been a congressionally mandated time capsule bury, which is going to take place July 4th, and it will not be opened until 2276. So it will be opened in another 250 years. Now, it's apparently been engineered to withstand 250 years underground. The capsule was developed in collaboration with scientists at the National Institute of Standards and Technology and preservation experts at the Library of Congress and the National Park Service. But unlike traditional box-shaped capsules, the precision-milled stainless steel vessel is like cylindrical to reduce structural vulnerabilities. But what else is going to happen is all the stuff inside it. Now, the final contents have not been revealed. They'll be revealed ahead of July 4th, but we do know that some of the initial contributions include select items from the 2026 Rose Parade, student submissions from America's 250s, the America's Field Trip Contest. So there's sports memorabilia from National League partners and items from Congress, the Supreme Court, the executive branch are going to be included. So we'll see what eventually goes in there. But 250 years, think of what has changed in 250 years, and what will people, will they even know what they're looking at when you open that up?
Think about this. If you put an iPhone in there, you got to put the proper charger in there, but the outlets in 250 years might be completely different.
Well, and even if you write a description of what this is, will they be able to write it? Because if you have a kid opening something from 200 years ago right now, they can't read cursive.
The language has changed quite a bit.
That too.
Yeah, what is this thing? It says it's like a computer. Well, we had those chips implanted at birth.
Yeah.
Right? Isn't that crazy? The National Park Service will oversee the capsule's placement and incorporate its eventual opening into official park records. But I just thought that was so weird. And when you think about 2,276.
Mind-boggling.
You put my glasses in there. Some kid's going to put them on and go, oh, these are broken. I can't get the sports scores. And the old reruns or whatever.
But I mean, that's probably even 15 years.
What are those for? They just replace our eyes now.
Yeah, it just pop them out. And hey, Bob, give me one of your eyes. I think they should put in, I don't know how they would do it, DVD players or whatever, but like Seinfeld, season 1 through 9. and just say, hey, this is what we were watching 250 years ago.
Yeah, but we weren't in. You got to think it's 2026.
So
we aren't watching.
today.
You guys are watching it still.
I think if you polled somebody today and say, what was the best show? I mean, you could throw MASH in there.
But we're not talking about a history. We're talking about this year.
This year, yeah.
250 years from this year.
I think if you get 250 years down the road, now we're just kind of splitting hairs here to say, it has to be from 226. I think if you turn on any TV right now, you're going to see Seinfeld and The Office. That's probably getting watched more than whatever new show NBC put on.
Well,
I know what you're saying.
But what's the difference then? Because if you would have put in a newspaper from the Post-Dispatch from 1997, which is when Seinfeld was on, it's not the same as it is today.
The same, right. Because I would have said like a pair of Air Jordans, but that's really, and while people are still buying them, the impact was from 30 years ago.
40 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I think you got to talk about really what is hot
moment.
right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they'd put that hockey show in there, right?
Heated Rivalry might be in there. Yeah.
What else? Well, Bob, what are you watching? You'd have to put Landman in there, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. There probably won't be TV.
I know.
People don't watch TV anymore 250 years from now?
Yeah. It'll be interesting, and none of us will be around.
Yeah.
Recently, a good friend of mine was changing the light fixture in their kitchen, and they took the light fixture off the ceiling, and they looked inside the ceiling and said, what is the phone number to Michael Baldy? If they would have listened to me, they would have put Michael Baldy's phone number in their phone, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial. So here you go. The next time you need an electrician, you need to remember Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. So the phone number, 314-968-9999. Indoor, outdoor, an old Victorian home, knob and tube wiring, and anything and everything in between. You see, Michael Baldy is a licensed electrician, and he has a team ready to go. Whether it's something for the ceiling in the kitchen, something for the lights for the holidays, whatever it may be, Michael Baldy and Baldy Electric. BaldyElectric.com, 314-968-9999, because everybody needs a good electrician on speed dial, BaldyElectric.com.
I'm Farmer Dave, and here's my good friend and owner of MasterCars Inc., Alex Rosenberger, with today's hot MasterCars Inc. deals.
Spring is in the air, my favorite time of the year. I'm buying and selling, of course, cars and motorcycles daily. I like to buy a few cars a day at this time of year, and I like to buy them directly from the owner. We carry only hand-selected vehicles, and I like to meet the people they come from. It's as much a people business as it is a car business. If you're in the St. Louis metro area, I'll even come to your house to purchase your vehicle, especially if you have more than one to sell or even an entire collection. We're always on the hunt for super clean, rare, and unique vehicles. I'll even buy everyday cars if they have low miles and are exceptionally clean. Hop on my site, mastercarsinc.com, and submit what you've got to sell. We buy, sell, and trade every single day.
So rev that motor and point your car in the direction of MasterCars Inc. and buy or sell today. 4100 Namioki Road in Granite City, or visit mastercarsinc.com to get more details. That's mastercarsinc.com.
Basement with a Y. That's Basement E.
It's Basement T.
Basement E?
It's Basement T.
Oh, Basement T. Basement T. I get it. That's the basement waterproofing and foundation repair experts at Woods Basement Systems.
Right. The All Things Basement T experts at Woods Basement Systems will provide you a free estimate and dry up that wet basement and fix that cracked foundation. Call 800-388-9326 or go online to woodsbasementsystems.com.
That's woodsbasementsystems.com.
Out here, the bright lights show you who's ready and who's just talking. AT&T's been steady in the pocket since 1876. Take T-Mobile. They talk a big game about price locks, then get smacked for deceptive ads. 150 years of playing it straight tends to show. AT&T. When you compare, there's no comparison.
Based on RootMetrics United States Roots Report 1H 2025. Tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T. Based on advertising challenges of wireless and home internet providers filed from 2022 to 2025.
I'm Mark Cantor. Here's why you can count on Cantor Injury Law.
My name is Michelle. I'm a litigation paralegal at Cantor Injury Law, and you can count on Cantor because we are smart, honest, and hardworking.
I'm Kevin Glenn, and a partner here at Cantor Injury Law. You can count on Cantor because we make your cause our cause.
No fee if no recovery. Please please visit CantorInjuryLaw.com or call us at 314-628-9999.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
It's about 8 minutes before 5 o'clock. Captain Paul, the road's looking good?
Yeah, Heidi, the roads are looking pretty good. We have no active accidents. 64 West is heavy from Kings Highway to Hampton. 64 East bogs down at 170. 55 South is running slow from Gasconade to 4500 South Broadway. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 255 past 157. This traffic report is brought to you by Dents Express. Drive time can be hectic with traffic, weather, and fender benders. Dents Express can help with hassle-free dent removal, minor collision repair, and hail damage repair. Free evaluations, and they take care of the insurance paperwork. They've got 2 locations on Manchester and Baldwin and in St. Charles. DentsExpressSTL.com. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
And now, it's the Billiken Report with Bob Ramsey on the Heidi Glaus Show. Powered by the Milton Law Group, Davey Tree Expert Company, Hackett Security, and Connor Roofing.
Now, why would we play that song on the Billiken Report? Because I can't believe this unbelievable, truly remarkable season's almost over already.
It is shocking.
It seemed like we just started a couple of weeks ago, and I wish I would have taken more notes and written more things down because it's truly a remarkable season. Tomorrow night at Chaffetz Arena, it's senior night. It's the final home game of the year.
Oh,
can you believe it?
It'll be electric.
On a season that is, like I said, it's really just unbelievable. The Billikens remain in the top 25. At number 25, the Billikens are 18-0 at Chaffetz Arena. They've never completed an undefeated season at Chaffetz. We've already matched the school record for Chaffetz Arena wins in a season, so you can go past that. The consecutive home wins dating back to last year, 22 in a row. So that if they win, then we would tie that. And so many of these things. And then it's senior night. And you know yourself what a big deal that is,
special.
Heidi. Really special. There'll be several seniors that'll be getting the nod. Of the regular guys, Paul Otieno and Dion Brown are only here for 1 year, but huge key contributors. Robbie Avila, 2 years, and Jaden Schertz, Coach Schertz's son, who's a walk-on. He's a senior, and plus I think a couple of managers, some other folks. But it's always very emotional, and those ceremonies will be following the game. Oh yeah, the game. Loyola comes in, Loyola of Chicago, and it'll be they're the last place team, but you can't take them for granted. And it's just going to be a big night at Chaffetz Arena tomorrow, 7:00 as the Billikens. Oh, also one other thing, if they win, they'll be able to cut down the nets for winning the regular season.
That's cool.
So all this stuff going on in one game tomorrow night at Chaffetz Arena. It's going to be a lot of fun. This has been the Billiken Report, brought to you by the Milton Law Group. Managing attorney of Milton Law Group, Mark Milton, is a proud St. Louis University School of Law alum, and he's widely recognized as one of the top tax resolution attorneys in the country. The STL tax lawyer and his team provide trusted legal representation to troubled taxpayers, specializing in tax debt resolution, audit, defense, and unfiled returns. For a local solution to your IRS problems, contact Mark Milton by visiting stltaxlawyer.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision. It should not be based solely upon advertisements.
A lot of people weighing in right now on the text line about that time capsule. You got to put a roll of pennies in there. They won't be around in 250 years, and this is the last year.
Great call.
Right?
That is a great call.
Somebody said, I myself like seeing the old menus. We have a picture of my family's restaurant where I think the largest thing on the menu was 25 cents. So I would think, say, a copy of a McDonald's menu or something along that nature would be good to throw into a time capsule so you can look back and even see what we were eating at the time.
Especially in St. Louis.
Yeah.
With some of our stuff.
You've been listening to the Milliken Report with Bob Ramsey, powered by the Milton Law Group, Davey Tree Expert Company, Hackett Security, and Connor Roofing on the Big 550 KTRS.
Kick off the season with a winning team. Choose Hackett Security to watch your home while you're watching the game. Hackett Security has a system to meet every budget. They are a locally owned national security company with on-site 24/7 UL listed monitoring. Visit HackettSecurity.com or call 314-432-4200. Who will be watching your home while you're watching the game? Hackett Security. They're looking out for you. 314-432-4200. HACKETT Security.com. Talk to the Davey Tree Expert Company. These people love trees. They have a passion for keeping trees healthy. Their certified arborists provide personalized care for your trees. They're trained in the latest technologies for safe and accurate pruning and provide reliable preventative measures for diseases and invasive insects.
Locations in South County, Webster Groves, and coming soon to St. Charles. Davey Tree serves the entire St. Louis metro area on both sides of the river. Visit Davey, spelled DAVEY.com.
Hey St. Louis, it's Kathy from Connor Roofing, and spring storms are upon us. Is your home ready? At Connor Roofing, we specialize in roofing, siding, and gutters to protect your home from the elements. Don't wait for leaks or damage to strike. Our expert team will ensure that your home stays safe and secure all season long. Call Connor Roofing today at 314-375-7475 for an inspection, and you can enjoy the beauty of spring leak-free. Look us up at connorroofing.com. That's CONNER roofing.com.
Are you or a family member needing to sell your home? Then call me, Mike Robinson with Robank Properties. I will buy your home in any condition and always as is. Call me at 314-283-0867. That's 314-283-0867. No contingencies, no inspections, just cold hard cash. I'll save you time and money. So make that call now and let me buy your house. RobankProperties.com. That's ROBANG Properties.com.
Middle East continuing to escalate. The State Department is urging Americans from Israel to Arab states like Bahrain and Jordan to leave as Iran launches drone and missile strikes. But flights out are being canceled and the airspace closed off. State Secretary Marco Rubio says the U.S. is working on an evacuation plan.
Charter flights, military flights and transports, expanded commercial opportunities, and in some cases land routes that will allow them to go to neighboring countries who might have open airports at that point.
U.S. embassies and all consulates have closed in 8 countries in the Middle East. At the White House today, President Trump defending his decision to join Israel and strike Iran, claiming that Iran had planned attacks on Israel and other countries.
We were having negotiations with these lunatics, and it was my opinion that they were going to attack first. They were going to attack. If we didn't do it, they were going to attack first. I felt strongly about that.
U.S. intelligence showing there was not an imminent threat against the U.S. Tomorrow, the Senate is set to vote on a bipartisan resolution that's aimed at limiting the president's war powers. Republican Senator Ted Cruz says he supported the president's decision.
Congress will be voting on it this week. I expect that we will see a vote supporting what the president did.
Voters in Texas, North Carolina, and Arkansas, meantime, are casting ballots today in the first primary races ahead of the midterm elections this fall. Key races could impact the balance of Congress. The chair of the House Oversight Committee says Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has agreed to voluntarily appear for a transcribed interview in the committee's probe of convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. Lutnick initially denied he kept in contact with Epstein after his conviction, but Epstein files released by the Justice Department differed from his account. On Wall Street, stocks made up for earlier losses due to concerns over rising oil and gas prices. You're listening to ABC News.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $200-$300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SOUND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Farmers and ranchers, when it's time to buy or sell ag equipment, think Purple Wave Auction. We're your go-to online marketplace for tractors, combines, sprayers, and more. With our no reserve policy, every item sells to the highest bidder. Experience the Purple Wave difference. Nationwide reach with a local touch. Purple Wave Auction. Whether you're expanding your operation or streamlining your fleet, we've got you covered. Visit purplewave.com today. Fuel your farm with Purple Wave Auction.
It's back. It's back. What you've been waiting for all year. The only station carrying the broadcast. The only station on site court doing the play-by-play. Arch Madness starts in just a few days, and the Big 550 KTRS is your home once again for all the action. Arch Madness.
Tyler Schmidt, middle of the floor, 6 on the shot clock. Schmidt wants to dribble in to the bucket. Layup won't go. Rebound tapped and saved by Shaq.
Four-time Missouri Broadcast Play-by-Play Award winner, KTRS Sports Director Brendan Weesey brings you all the action.
Lob it for Anderson, who catches a head and shoulder fake. 2 on the clock, puts it up. No good. Follow, no good. Valpo has sprung the upset.
It all starts right here on the Big 550. KTRS, the voice of Arch Madness. Arch Madness.
53 degrees at 5:04 with KTRS News. I'm Steve Potter. The Major Case Squad of Greater St. Louis was called out today, investigating the death of a 41-year-old woman in Carlisle, Illinois. Mayor Kara Spencer says the city of St. Louis should not keep financial liability for the Metropolitan Police Department since it's back under state control. The mayor testified at the Missouri Capitol yesterday in opposition to a bill that would require the city to remain financially responsible for settlements, judgments, and legal fees related to the police department. St. Louis County Prosecutor Melissa Price-Smith says her office is moving ahead with removing illegal gambling machines from gas stations and restaurants. She addressed the issue yesterday on The McGraw Show.
We're actually in the process right now, should be done early this week, in drafting a notice to these in partnership with the AG's office, store owners and restaurant owners, just saying, hey, these are illegal. You need to get rid of them or you do face prosecution. We're hoping that that will lead to a lot of compliance.
March marks Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month, and St. Charles County is encouraging local residents and businesses to show their support of people with intellectual and developmental disabilities by displaying a yard sign. The campaign kicked off this week and supports the use of property tax-funded efforts to address the issue. An estimated 7,200 people with those disabilities live in St. Charles County. And the Illinois Department of Public Health has issued its first-ever carbon monoxide surveillance report.
The report details all known unintentional carbon monoxide exposures in the state from 2019 to 2023. Key findings from the report show carbon monoxide exposures resulted in an average of 940 emergency department visits, 126 hospital admissions, and nearly 57 deaths annually in Illinois. The report also found that while unintentional carbon monoxide exposures are most common during cold weather months from October to March, they can and do happen at any time of the year. Data from the report will help state and local officials work on targeted public information and education efforts and other interventions to help Illinoisans avoid emergency room visits, hospitalizations, and deaths resulting from carbon monoxide exposure. Jill Enters, KTRS News.
This KTRS Business Minute brought to you by Walter Knoll Florist, the place for all your floral needs. Place your order anytime at WKF.com. A gourmet popcorn company announced it will open a new location. Pop Hooray's new site will be at 1100 Locust Street in downtown St. Louis. The company currently has locations in Ferguson and at City Foundry. Now the markets, brought to you by JBL Financial. Tune in to Straight Talk and Retirement Saturday mornings from 9 to 11. At close, the Dow down 403 points at 48,501, NASDAQ down 232 at 22,516, and the S&P 500 down 65 at 6,816. Now let's throw it to Paul for KTRS Sports and Traffic.
Steve, Mizzou basketball begins its final week of the regular season with a date at Oklahoma tonight. The last time these two teams played, the Tigers needed 2 buzzer beaters to pull out the win. Pre-game coverage begins at 5:30 this afternoon on the Big 550. And the Big 550 presents Arch Madness for the 10th straight year beginning later this week. Bob Ramsey will have the first call of the tournament as Southern Illinois takes on Drake Thursday afternoon at 3:30. I'm Paul Kopsky from the Royal Banks of Missouri Sports Desk, and now on to traffic. 64 West is heavy from Kings Highway to Clayton Skinker. 55 South is running slow from south of Arsenal to 4500 South Broadway, where it's stop and go. And in Illinois, 64 East is congested from 255 past 157. This traffic report is brought to you by the Rockwood School District. Are you looking for a new part-time or full-time job opportunity? Consider Rockwood School District with openings for custodians, cafeteria workers, and groundskeepers with great benefits, competitive pay, and flexible hours. Apply online at rsdmo.org/jobs. That's rsdmo.org/jobs. From the KTRS Traffic Center, I'm Captain Paul Kopsky on the Big 550 KTRS.
Our forecast calls for the chance for scattered rain and thunderstorms to continue tomorrow, an overnight low around 50. Tomorrow's high near 62. At 5:09, cloudy, 53 degrees at the Gold Tower at Westport. Steve Potter, KTRS News, the talk of St. Louis.
Out here, the bright lights show you who's ready and who's just talking. AT&T's been steady in the pocket since 1876. Take T-Mobile. They talk a big game about price locks, then get smacked for deceptive ads. 150 years of playing it straight tends to show. AT&T. When you compare, there's no comparison.
Based on RootMetrics United States Root Score Report 1H 2025. Tested with best commercially available smartphones on 3 national mobile networks across all available network types. Your experiences may vary. RootMetrics rankings are not an endorsement of AT&T. Based on advertising challenges of wireless and home internet providers filed from 2022 to 2025.
The mayhem of March has arrived. Kick off the season Wednesday night at 8 o'clock with our Arch Madness Bracket Preview Show. It's all powered by Royal Banks of Missouri on your home for hoops, the Big 550.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
$19,000 flights have already been canceled across the Middle East since the war began, stranding many Americans. Claire McMichael, ABC News transportation reporter in New York, joins us with the latest. Any idea when maybe people will be able to get home, or is this indefinite?
Hey there. Well, that's the question that everybody, including me, really is asking right now, because the situation is so volatile that we just don't know. We have been seeing so many of these airspace closures in the region. That's why all these flights have been canceled, but they keep on getting extended and extended and extended. They could be extended, twice a day, even to the next morning. So we are just waiting for the situation to simmer down a little before the airspace can reopen and those flights can go in and out.
And Claire, what kind of effect is this having just domestically trying to get around? Is it having any effect?
Well, domestically in the U.S., we are not seeing an impact from that. But certainly for those flights that are leaving from the U.S. to the Middle East, those have all been canceled without exception, really. We are looking at American Airlines, United, and Delta all fly to the Middle East. Those have pushed their flights off for a few days yet. And that's, if the airspace stays open and if they continue to think it's safe to fly over there. But even the carriers, the international carriers that are based in the Middle East, their operations are really slowed down as well. Qatar Airlines, which is based in Doha, the airspace in Qatar is closed right now. They're not flying. Etihad and Emirates out of Dubai and Abu Dhabi, the airspace is still very restricted there. It is open, though, so we're seeing a couple flights fly out, but all those scheduled commercial flights, that's going to take a little while longer.
Claire, do we have a feel for the number of American citizens stranded in the Middle East right now?
We know that the number is in the thousands, and it's a tricky situation because the State Department has told U.S. citizens to leave the Middle East, but of course they're finding it very difficult to get out with these airspace closures. And again, even if the airspace is open, there are so few flights. Mm-hmm. We are hearing from the State Department that they're working hard to get Americans out, whether that's by air or by buses, but it's a chaotic situation on the ground.
You know, I don't want to make light of it, but it almost reminds me of Casablanca, where people are trying to go through Casablanca to get their passage on ships to get to get the United States, and the panic that sets in when you get to a point and can get no further. This has got to be about as stressful as somebody can have traveling.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely an anxiety-inducing time. We've spoken to some of the people who are stranded over there, and they're telling us stories like explosions have been waking them up at the middle of the night. They can see smoke and impacts from, missiles or rockets coming in. But again, the State Department is working hard to try to get some charter flights from certain countries to evacuate people, helping Americans book tickets to get out, or even, as we said, those buses, taking them from places where maybe the airspace is closed to places where it's still open and getting them out that way. They're trying everything.
And Clara, are people stuck at the airports, and are the airports safe?
Airlines have been advising that if you don't have a confirmed flight out, you should not be at the airport at all. And in fact, we've seen those airports be targeted by some of these missiles. So there was actually one person who unfortunately died at the airport in Abu Dhabi when it was impacted by this. So airlines and the State Department is advising that Americans shelter in place, stay at their hotels if they're in one, stay in a safe location unless they know for sure they're on a flight that's going to get out. Then they can head to the airport. But if they don't have those tickets, do not come to the airport.
And Clara, you're the transportation reporter with ABC. Maybe you can answer this. These airlines that are based in the Middle East, they do fly internationally. You mentioned that. They do go to Europe and New York, and I don't know if they go to L.A. Can they continue those flights, or do they have to come home at some point back to the Middle East?
Well, if they have flights that aren't out of these specific countries or cities that are impacted, they can certainly continue those. But, with 19,000 cancellations over the course of, I think, about 4 days, I mean, that's just a huge catastrophic impact on any airline's operations. So this is going to be, economically difficult for them. It's going to be a struggle to repatriate these passengers. And of course, as we go forward, not to look too far into the future, but what impact will this have on tourism in these places, on business, on people who want to take those flights? Will they think it's safe?
Yeah, great point. Claire McMichael, ABC News transportation reporter in New York. Thank you for keeping us in the know.
Thanks so much.
I always find it stunning when stories like this come out. 19,000 flights were canceled just in that area. It's stunning to find out how many airplanes are in the air at any time.
It's insane.
On
You're
a
right.
given day. I mean, tens of thousands of airplanes are up there right now.
But we're also thinking about a lot of, we're not just talking about Iran. We're talking about Qatar and all of these other places. I mean, it's a pretty big swath of land or airspace that they're covering as well.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see right now how many airplanes are in the sky. I think we would lowball it.
I think you could probably Google it.
I think I might. But first, I want to tell you about my dentist. Lake St. Louis Dentistry is the newest location, the third location of dentist offices that are run by my friend Sean Landgraf. His father was my dentist. His grandfather was my parents' dentist, and they have 3 locations now, Florissant Dental Services and Florissant STL Mid-County Dental in Creve Coeur. And now the new one, Lake St. Louis Dentistry on Lake St. Louis Boulevard, half mile from 4064. Dr. Mola is the full-time dentist out in Lake St. Louis. Dr. Landgraf is there often as well. If you've moved out to Lake St. Louis recently, which I know a lot of you have, you need to find a local dentist, and you can find them at LakeSt.LouisDentistry.com. Go online, get yourself an appointment, and keep going back just like my family has, generation after generation. 636-333-6150 or LakeSt.LouisDentistry.com.
Are you ready for tax season? A new administration in Washington guarantees there are changes to the tax law coming. Don't let changes to the tax code catch you off guard. Hi, I'm Jeff Zufall, Senior Tax Strategist and Wealth Advisor at Capital Advisory Group and the author of the #1 best-selling book on taxes, Keep What's Yours, and the soon-to-be-released book, Keeping What's Yours, the Strategic Tax Planning Guide for the One Big Beautiful Bill. For 50 years, our team has helped hundreds of area businesses get their financial plans in order, reduce their tax liability, and stop overpaying their federal and state income taxes. If you're not taking full advantage of the tax law and you feel like you might be paying more than your fair share in taxes, then let us help you plan for 2026 and take advantage of the new tax laws. To learn more, give us a call at 636-394-5524 or online at capitaladvisorygrp.com.
With over 30 years of experience in top-quality senior living, McKnight Place Assisted Living knows how to help its residents live fulfilling lives. The professional staff gets to know all residents and their families. McKnight Place Assisted Living has become known for its high-quality amenities, personalized services, and expert care. But its history of making people a priority is what really sets it apart from many other senior communities. That starts with the residents and extends to their loved ones. 314-993-3333 or visit them at mcknightplace.com.
Hey St. Louis, this is Ben Barnett, board certified master arborist and owner at Timberline Professional Tree Care. As a local small business owner for the past 24 years, I always do my best to shop local and support our community. Recently, 2 of the largest tree contractors in the region have sold to out-of-town investment groups. This means that the new owners of these companies are not invested in quality, customer satisfaction, or safety, except for how it affects their bottom line. Timberline Professional Tree Care was founded in 2001 and is focused solely on giving you, the customer, the safest, highest quality product while providing the best customer service before, during, and after the job. I've poured my heart and soul into tree care for the past 24 years, and we aren't going anywhere. When it comes time to take care of your trees, I ask that you shop local and call me, Ben Barnett, at Timberline Professional Tree Care, 636-479-7475, or online at stltreecare.com.
The official birthplace of the toasted ravioli is
Mama's on the Hill.
And Mama's on the Hill serves the best in town. Mama's has been a mainstay on the Hill for decades and is still a family-run restaurant serving up great Italian food in a fun atmosphere. Open 7 days a week for lunch and dinner, and right in the heart of the Hill at Edwards and Bischoff. Delicious catering and party rooms too.
Mama's on the Hill.
Make reservations at 314-776-3100 and 24/7 at mamasonthehill.com.
The Still Farmer, Medicare is overwhelming. Parts, plans, deadlines. It's a lot. That's why so many of you turn to Ryan Raphael, the Medicare man. Ryan breaks Medicare down in plain English, helps you compare options, and make sure you're not overpaying or undercovered. No pressure, no confusion, just clear guidance from someone who actually cares. If you're turning 65, already on Medicare, or helping a parent navigate it all, start with someone you can trust. For the right plan, call a Medicare man. 314-368-6808, MedicareManSTL.com.
There are only a few funeral homes in our entire area that list their prices on the internet. Cutis has no problem with that. Certain other places have a habit of luring you in at a lower price, and when you get there, somehow things change. If you shop and compare, you'll find that what other funeral homes consider extras are standard at Cutis. At Cutis, there is absolutely no pressure. You make all the decisions.
Cutis, affordability with dignity since 1910.
You're listening to the Heidi Glaus Show with Josh Gilbert and Bob Ramsey on the Big 550 KTRS.
Basketball playoffs are quickly approaching. The Big 550 KTRS begins our 10th straight year of live play-by-play coverage of Arch Madness on Thursday afternoon. Hear Frank Cusimano, Bob Ramsey, Brendan Weesey call all the action this weekend. Come Sunday afternoon, one team will punch their ticket to the big dance. College basketball in St. Louis lives right here on the Big 550 KTRS.
And we are delighted to have in next week's tournament, the Atlantic 10 starts next week, and we're delighted to have Assistant Commissioner of the Atlantic 10, Drew Dickerson, my pal. Drew, how are you?
I'm great, Bob. How are you?
I'm great. Have things ramped up in the conference office, getting ready for Pittsburgh?
No, we've still got some time to go. I mean, we've got 2 games to go in the regular season. Billikens play tomorrow night. Their biggest competition for first place plays tonight. So lots still at stake. Seedings, none of the seeds are determined yet. So got a ways to go a little bit.
Yeah, it is funny, and a great job with the league on the scheduling as VCU and Dayton, SLU and George Mason, and the top teams are all playing each other this week.
Yeah, we are pretty conscious about trying to do our best guess. And you can see for tomorrow for the Billikens, Loyola was supposed to be a tough opponent too, and they've struggled a little bit this season. But we're pretty intentional about scheduling the teams that we think are going to be there at the end, and being pretty strategic about it, so that when we come down to the end of the season, these games are meaningful.
Yeah. And Drew, we're super excited about the A10 tournament here, but that's not really why we're talking to you, is it?
It is not. It is not, Bob. I have a little special presentation for you. Later this week, we are going to announce that you are the 2026 Bob Vitrone Media Award winner.
What the heck is going on in this conference office? You all have lost your minds. What are you doing, Drew?
Oh, you well deserved. A longtime voice of the Billikens, my friend, and the sports information directors, media relation directors of the Atlantic 10 agreed that Mr. Bob Ramsey deserved to get the Atlantic 10's Media Award, named after Bob Vitrone, longtime Philadelphia writer. And there's some pretty nice names that have filled out there. So we'll honor you on court during the Billikens game on Friday. So Earl's going to have to take over the play-by-play duties for about 10 seconds while we get you on and off the court.
Drew, that is such an honor. I'm really humbled, and I didn't even know the other SIDs even liked me. So no, you know what? We do. One of the fun things about the Atlantic 10 tournament is SIDs, radio guys, and everybody kind of gets together, and we're all kind of we're in it together, and there's a real collegial feeling at the A10 tournament.
Listen, one of my favorite things to do, and for those that don't, listeners don't know, I oversee the media operations of the tournament. One of my favorite things to do is before each game, walk down press row and check in with both radios and TV and all the writers and make sure everybody's got what they need before the game. And a little fist bump for the radio guys because they're usually in pregame. So you and I use a little fist bump, Earl and I, it's a great time. And first of all, the honors are very well deserved. You've been a huge part of St. Louis athletics and a huge part of this league for a long time. I've been here 15 years, and you've been an ever steady present voice. So just a big congratulations. And I encourage all St. Louis fans to come buy tickets so they can come watch you be honored.
Yeah, it's really
maybe watch.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Maybe watch that team that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, we can stay for the game, right?
Pretty darn good. Hey, and one quick shout out, and by the way, it is really an honor and very humbling. I'm overwhelmed. Thank you so much. But I love the tournament in Pittsburgh. They do a great job, don't they?
They do a phenomenal job, and they don't get basketball a lot. They don't have a pro tenant like New York and DC do. So they kind of embrace it, and the city really embraces it. It's a great sports town, and it's kind of special for us this year because it is our 50th anniversary, and the league's first conference office was in Pittsburgh. The league was founded in and around that area, so there's a lot of ties there. 5 of the first 6 championships were in Pittsburgh at the Penguins' old arena, the the igloo.
Yeah.
Civic Arena is what it was called, but it was the igloo. And so the league has a lot of history there, and Duquesne is obviously there. So there's some really good ties, and so it was just appropriate for the 50th anniversary. But it also helps. They are a phenomenal host for the championship.
Drew, thanks so much again. Really nice. As I said, very humbling, and I'm very appreciative of you and all of our colleagues in the league. That really means a lot, and I'll see you next week.
That sounds great, and I look forward to celebrating with you. Congratulations, and look forward to seeing all St. Louis fans in Pittsburgh in a week.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, Drew.
Thank you all.
All right, you guys, that does it for us. We're out of here because Mizzou basketball tips off versus Oklahoma here at 6 o'clock. We got the pregame starting in just 2.5 minutes. Hopefully you'll meet us back here starting at 3 o'clock tomorrow. And until then, see if you can put a smile on somebody's face.
It's all right. For the golf enthusiasts out there, the Quarry at Crystal Springs delivers an 18-hole championship golf course and the finest driving range in the city. The practice facility features more than an acre of zoysia grass teeing area, along with covered hitting bays with high-end artificial turf tees, realistic practice environment with contoured fairways and greens. We are proud to replace over all 40,000 of our range balls every year. Our golf course features a beautiful layout, outstanding turf conditions, and bent grass greens. Nestled in Creve Coeur Park and surrounded by nature. Golf rates range from $50 to $72. Visit our website at quarrygc.com.
What if every time you spent money, you saved money too? With Achieve It Checking from Together Credit Union, you can do just that. Every debit card purchase is rounded up to the nearest dollar, and the spare change goes straight into your savings. And here's the best part. Together Credit Union boosts your progress by matching qualifying savings, up to $8 a month. It's a free checking account that helps you achieve more automatically. Learn more, or better yet, enroll today at togethercu.org. Together Credit Union. Federally insured by NCUA.
B Square Drywall and Painting was founded on expertise, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. With their unique system, meticulously crafted over a combined half-century of experience, B Squared ensures that every project is executed with the utmost quality every single time. From residential renovations to commercial build-outs, trust B Squared to deliver exceptional craftsmanship, attention to detail, and unparalleled service. At B Squared Drywall and Painting, quality is not just a promise, it's a guarantee. Call 314-486-5335, online at bsquaredinteriors.com. Expertise you can trust, results you will love.
Everyone's talking about these weight loss drugs, and it's a good thing we've got Dr. Joe Molesky with us, a St. Louis native and board-certified primary care physician. Dr. Joe, it can get very confusing, but the one thing we need to know is GLP-1, right? That's the magic cure.
The magic cure is these weight loss shots. They're injected once weekly. They're not like the old medications that you've seen 20, 30 years ago. These medications actually work. They're injected once weekly, and patients see within the first 90 days, 10 to 15 pounds down. It simply works, and that's why I recommend it to all of my patients. You simply go online, book an appointment, you fill out a health questionnaire form, you get an appointment on our schedule. It's all telemedicine based. It's all done from your home, and then you meet with me or one of my nurse practitioners, and then after the 10, 15-minute consult, the medication is delivered right to your door discreetly, and you get started right now on your weight loss journey.
And you want to start to lose weight? None better than to call stlmedweightloss.com and ask Dr. Joe. stlmedweightloss.com.
Mizzou basketball is on the air.
Ahead to Mitchell to the rack. He flushed it, and Missouri goes up by 6.
Mizzou basketball is brought to you by Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Left side of the lane to the rim for the flush. European stride around Harris for the two-handed jam.
This is the Shelter Insurance pregame show. Shelter Insurance, for auto, home, and life insurance that fits just right. Find an agent at shelterinsurance.com.
Joining the SEC for the 2013 season, Missouri has reached double-digit wins in conference play in back-to-back seasons. Among Mizzou's 10 SEC victories, a January 24th overtime thriller against Oklahoma, when the Tigers used not one, but 2 buzzer-beating threes to beat OU. Pierce moving to his right, gets it into Barrett, curls it, comes into the front court, leaves it for Pierce, deep 3 from the logo. Good! We're tied at 81 as he bangs it home from the logo. Mitchell comes left to right, Mitchell across half court. Mitchell puts up a three-pointer, good! And Missouri wins it in overtime. Good evening from the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman, Oklahoma. With Chris Gervino and engineer Patrick Roberts, I'm Mike Kelly. It's the 216th meeting between the Tigers and the Sooners. Mizzou looks to match a program high tonight. A win this evening would give the Tigers 11 SEC wins, accomplished by Frank Haith back in that initial season of 2013 and Dennis Ray Gates in his first season of 2023.
It'll be great to get to that level again, Mike. And, of course, the big goal is to get to the NCAA tournament. And if that happens, and it looks like it very well might, it would be 3 times in 4 years under Coach Gates. But what a job he's done navigating this ball club through the rugged Southeastern Conference and a chance to finish in the top 4. Right now, Missouri would be 4th and have a double bye in the tournament. So it just speaks to how well Missouri has played down the stretch here. 6 wins in 8 games, 4 conference road wins already. Really impressive.
Or as we call it, that coveted double bye in the SEC tournament. For context, though, the last coach at Missouri to lead his team to digit conference win seasons, Norm Stewart. 88-8 Norm Stewart. 88-89 when they went 10-4 in the Big 8. 89-90 when they went 12-2. Now, it happened in Norm's last year as well, in 98-99 when he went 11-5 in the Big 12, and in Quinn Snyder's first season in 99-2000 when his team went 10-6 in the Big 12 Conference. And again, played a 16-game slate in the Big 12, a 14-game slate in the Big 8. SEC playing an 18-game slate. But again, to be able to get to double-digit conference victories is impressive.
Well, it's been a long time. It's just been a while, and it's all impressive. But you go back to Norm in the late 80s. I mean, that is amazing when you think they were 12-2 the one year, and that was a great 89-90 season when Missouri, Oklahoma, and Kansas all had the number 1 ranking within conference play. And as I recall, Oklahoma was a 1 seed in the national tournament, Kansas a 2, and Missouri a 3. Those are the good old days for some of us that go back to the Big 8. But the bottom line is Missouri is back in that conversation, right? Getting to double-digit victories in league play for multiple times and really building here with Coach Dennis Gates.
Missouri trying to do something tonight that they've only done one other time in SEC play this season, and that is win 3 consecutive games. How have they won the last 2? Let me throw some numbers at you. 43 points from the bench in the last 2, 50 points off of 33 forced turnovers, and 78 points in the paint.
And I think a big part of those numbers, really all of them, is Trent Burns. 7 feet 5 inches tall. He is really emerged now. He's healthy. He's available. He's been making shots. We've seen that hook shot of his, and at 7'5", that is hard, if not impossible, to guard. But he adds, obviously, to the bench points and the points in the paint, and that's where Missouri truly now, the biggest team in the country playing basketball, can really create havoc on others. I mean, only Florida matches Missouri in average height, and when Burns is out there literally playing half a ball game up to 20 minutes, that makes Missouri extra potent up front.
That's Chris Gervino, and I'm Mike Kelly. When we return, a conversation with Missouri's Jaden Stone on the Central Bank Tiger Network from Learfield.
Tiger fans, let's salute the real heroes, our military service members. Veterans United Home Loans is proud to honor them as the hero of the game. Know a veteran or active duty service member who deserves the spotlight? Nominate your hero today at veteransunited.com/hero. That's veteransunited.com/hero. Help us recognize those who've served with courage, dedication, and pride.
A small business affirmation from Progressive. Bakery owners, you will be loved today. Every pastry will be flaky. Your cake will make a child's day. Your delivery van won't get sideswiped by a distracted garbage truck driver. But if so, breathe easy, knowing you'll get back to business quickly with Progressive protecting your commercial auto. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Today's game is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Protect your home and auto. Save when you bundle. Get a quote at progressive.com. This is Mizzou basketball from Learfield.
Home equity loans are home everything loans at Neighbors Credit Union. Home improvements, vacations, education, even debt consolidation. Anything and everything you have planned can be made easier with my friends at Neighbors Credit Union. With the flexibility of a home equity line of credit at Neighbors Credit Union, you can enjoy a great introductory rate for the first 12 months. The possibilities are endless. Stop by one of the 8 area locations or apply online at neighborscu.org.
Equal housing opportunity. NMLS number 509288. Call 800-325-2697 for
complete account and cost details.
Tower T Golf and Recreation in Afton is better than ever. Rated a top 50 golf practice and training facility in the U.S., golfers love the double-decker driving range, the nationally number 4 ranked short course on Golf Pass, giant putting green and chipping area, and top tracer technology providing accurate shot data. The whole family can enjoy a mini golf putting course, batting cages, bocce, a playground, and 9 holes of foot golf. The patio is a great place to watch St. Louis's favorite sports teams, enjoy live music, or you can schedule your next private event in the newly renovated party room. Check out TowerT.com and then experience all the fun at Tower T.
Missouri and Oklahoma here at the Lloyd Noble Center in Norman. I'm Mike Kelly, joined by Tigers guard Jaden Stone. At this stage of the game, as long as you've been playing the game, do you start thinking about this thing's winding down a little bit?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a long journey to get here, but it hasn't really hit me yet. I'm just taking one game at a time and, not really thinking about it too much.
What has allowed this team to win 6 of its last 8 games?
Trent Burns, T.O. Barrett, Mark Mitchell, Jacob Cruz, Sebastian Mack. It's all of them. They all chip in. But I think Trent Burns and T.O. have been amazing. And it's just inspiring to see, especially, I don't think anyone could have predicted the impact that they'd have. And it's good to see the underdog doing well. You know, you pull for them and you want them to do well, and because there's no selfishness aspect to it.
You're around this team every day. I still feel like this team's not even scratching the surface yet of what the ceiling is.
Yeah, I think it's been fun to see everybody kind of start to play their best basketball. You know, Tio's really coming to his own. I obviously started out really great, and obviously Trent starting to play great, and Cruz. So if we can have everyone hitting on the cylinders of where they're at their best, that's when you'll see, the peak performances. But yeah, we've still got